Hello, Games Done Quick. How are you doing tonight? Thank you all for being so patient while we get set up. I'm Nichole Goodnight. This is As Seen on TV, and we have an amazing lineup for you tonight. I'm so happy to be here, and I hope you're all having a fantastic day or night wherever it is that you are. As a reminder, GDQX will be live from TwitchCon October 20th to 22nd. The event will take place on the Games Done Quick stage as well as streamed live on our Twitch channel. Use !GDQX in Twitch chat to find out more info and check the schedule. And also, in addition to that, we have AGDQ coming up. Awesome Games Done Quick 2024 will be live in person January 14th through the 21st in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Use !AGDQ in Twitch chat for more info. And feel free to Games Done Quick on Twitter to let us know what you're hoping to see on the games list. Go to gamesdonequick.com for more info, and I'm very excited for that games list to come out. It's always a fun time kind of getting to see all the runs that are going to be featured, and I'm so excited for the event. I hope to see some of you there. I would like to see all of you there, but I know that that's just simply not possible. But we are actually all set up and all ready to go with our many first runs of the night. I would say our first runner, but our first runner is actually also our second runner and third runner and fourth runner. So please give a huge bonjour to Blooper.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Yeah, I came to rob the stream, if that makes sense. So please rename the channel. This is Blooper playing Games Done Quick.
Blooper Done Quick.
Blooper Done Quick, exactly.
I love it.
So yeah, I'm bringing the Disney afternoon vibes, except we're not Saturday and it's not the afternoon, but welcome to the Disney afternoon show. My name is Blooper. And to join me here, because, I will be playing games that most people know already, so that they're not such a surprise. So basically, we're bringing you back the 90s sleepover vibe. So we have a absolutely fantastic crew, as we say, la crème de la crème. Yes, I'm French.
I adore you so much.
Adore you as well. So yeah, la crème de la crème. We have Scala Kitty, we have Brisby, and obviously we have our lovely host, Nichole. And yeah, sleepover.
Woo! We're excited.
We got all our VHS tapes ready.
We went to Blockbuster.
After school. Oh, we totally went to Blockbuster.
All right, so I'm ready to go whenever you are. Disclaimer in chat, all the runs that I did today to finally train for this event happened to be a complete disaster, so please bear with me, because maybe I live in a timeline in which these runs might be either good or terrible. But at least I hope you'll have a lovely time.
We're gonna have a great time. I'm very excited.
Yeah, we're gonna have a great time.
It's gonna be
and I'm
great.
sure chat's gonna have a great time too.
Chat, you're gonna have a great time. Chat, you better have a great time. They'll have a great time.
They should. So as I said, I'm ready whenever you are. If one of you or you all at the same time can give me a countdown, would be lovely.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, Will.
All right.
Woo!
Wait, we did not do the proper woohoo.
Woohoo.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, woohoo.
Sorry, that was our bad.
All right, chat. Now you got a woohoo.
Gotta stay on brand, y'all.
Everyone has to stay.
Very
on brand.
true.
This is the best music, by the way.
Oui. Mais... Oh, ça y est, ça commence. No! Okay, so as a proud French person, I will be panicking in French. I'm sorry in advance for that. Also, I'm not really sorry in advance for that. Mais... Okay. So yeah, you will hear me say mais, oh non, and that's totally normal.
Can I just say panicking in French is maybe the best band name that I've ever heard.
I should start a band and I know the name.
Yeah. But we won't speak French.
No.
It'll be like some completely different language, but it'll be called
That's all
panicking
right.
in French.
The spirit will be there.
Well, so long as I do panic in French, it's fine. The name is valid.
Exactly. Yeah, you definitely have to be the front runner, like the front person of the
No,
band.
I'm not. I'm definitely not suited to do that.
I don't know. I believe in you. I think as long
Thank you.
as you can panic in French, you're qualified.
Yeah.
So anyone else who
That's
can panic
very
in French
true.
is also qualified.
That is the qualification, actually. So
yeah.
But
Okay, in that case, sounds good.
But what genre is Panics in French?
it's a really good question.
Oh.
Have you ever seen the giant map of all the different Spotify genres that is like beautifully arranged in like this, like from like one end to the other? You could just scroll it and you'll see genres you never knew existed.
I have
haven't
not
seen
done
it.
that. That sounds fun.
I think it's called like Every Sound.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. I'm interested.
I
What
need
would
to
be the
check
idea?
that.
Like, what would
Okay.
be
It is Every Noise at Once is the name of the website. And
even better?
yes, and it is amazing because you could just like scroll down through here and there's just Jazztronica. For example.
Jazztronica.
Okay, I need to know
What
more
is
immediately.
even that's supposed to be? I'm like so confused.
I'm adding that to my spot. Like, I'm just gonna hope that Spotify only gives me Jazztronica from now on.
That's the best thing I've heard. Jazz
Yeah, that's
Tronica.
incredible.
Absolutely, yes. Please, thank you. Have a good day.
But there you go. And then it's just nothing but like as many different genres of music as there's like let's see, you got Vapor Soul.
Wow.
What's some other fun ones?
Hmm.
There's something I haven't heard. Like I know what glitch pop is. So like I'm like, okay, there's
That
some
sounds
Yeah.
like a reasonable thing.
That sounds normal.
Nice.
there you go, Quebec metal death.
What?
Quebec death metal. So there you go. You want to scream in French.
I think that's definitely what Panics in French is rocking with. That's
Absolutely.
gotta be the genre.
I'm
yeah.
sorry, but in a way, it just kind of sounds like you drew some words randomly in a hat or something,
Yeah.
and
I
decided to call this a music genre.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
I mean, right
just
above,
call
right,
it.
yeah, right, yeah, right. It's there's like a whole section that's just death metal in all different like languages.
Okay,
That's
this
incredible.
All right, but though, why do you have like such a fondness for all the different like Disney games?
I used to play them when I was a young blooper.
Oh,
Like I started playing them somewhere around when I was 2 or something.
Oh my gosh.
like
a tiny
actual, like-
loofah.
Actual baby bloopa.
that's so cute.
Yeah, like I have a whole like backstory of playing the NES with my mom, and so yeah, I used to play like pretty much every game from the Disney cross Capcom collaboration, except Tailspin, because sorry chat, but Tailspin sucks. I still have to say it.
Bold statement.
We've got hot takes here on As Seen on TV.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
like the show is okay. The game is terrible. Like I mean, it's not like it's terrible. It's just I really, really don't like it.
You know what?
What
That's
part
fair.
of
It's not my thing. It's not my thing.
Okay.
So, but I used to play all of them. So yeah, DuckTales 1, DuckTales 2, Chip 'n Dale 1, Chip 'n Dale 2, Darkwing Duck. And I used to love these games. Like I was playing these ones the most, like among other ones. But yeah, I don't know. And shoot. And when I just started running, speed running, I kind of naturally came back to them. Like the whole story is at some point in my life, I got extremely depressed. And I didn't really know what to do with my sadness and my life. So I just went back to playing all the games from my childhood.
I wish I could hug you all the way over in France
Right?
because Well, because particularly for me, because like that was also kind of why I got into speedrunning.
Oh.
Yeah.
I won't
feel
go
you.
deep into it, but I had like a fallout with like a bunch of friends, and I was like really sad, and I'm like, and then like some of my friends like, have like want to come watch some speedruns with me, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go watch some speedruns, and then I'm like, you know what? This is actually making me feel better to watch speedruns. I would also like to do some speedruns because I also realized that's where a lot of like charity events, like Games
Yeah.
Done Quick, are centered. So I love gaming. I love charity events. So I'm like, you know what? Fine. I'll learn how to speedrun it, and then I can participate in gaming charity events.
That's amazing.
That is actually amazing.
It is genuinely one of the most welcoming communities I think I've ever been a part of.
really
and like there are
is. Yes.
obviously like these little subgroups, right? There are people who run the Disney games, who run classics, and people who run like just horror games and stuff. So it's like it's fun to find those pockets and like the different people that are in them, because you always get, I don't know, just such welcoming, cool people that are like, no, seriously, play my game. Like learn this with me. It'll be so fun.
Imagine being part of the French group.
Oh yeah. True panicking in French hours.
Yeah.
Oui.
Big panic in French hours. Oh my goodness.
But I find it interesting how many speedrunners go back to games that they played as kids to like.
Oh yeah.
Like-
Nichole.
Yeah, same. That's what I
But
did.
it kind of makes sense, because you need to have proper dedication to just spend countless hours of your time, like even hundreds of hours of your time playing and playing over again the same freaking game. Like, pardon my French, but it's it's more the dedication, and basically going back to the stuff you used to like when you were a kid makes so much sense.
It is also very like it's a lot of vindication, like to speedrun a game that gave you a lot of trouble as a kid.
Gosh,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yes.
Very true.
A
Yes.
kick-ass game.
My game for that is Final Fantasy Legend 2, which I never got very far of as a kid. I would just keep restarting it because I kept like getting like stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And now, and having learned the speedrun, I was just like, oh my god, now I can just beat this game in like 2 hours.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. Are
Yes.
you coming up on time? Is this like the last level?
Okay,
You've been going so
sorry
fast.
to interrupt you, but time
Yes.
is coming.
Yeah, okay.
I can't believe you interrupted us.
When we
God.
touch the chest, so it's time.
Yeah, wow.
Yay.
Nice work.
Please go on with the conversation.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
that was amazing. That was great.
That was phenomenal.
That actually was a good first run. I'm happy with this one.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yay!
Well, we're gonna just take a quick couple-minute break just so we can get everything switched over for our surprise next runner. It's Bloopa.
Who could that be?
Who could it be? Who knows? We don't know. I don't know. You don't know. So hang in there, chat. We'll be back in just a few minutes with more As Seen on TV. back chat to As Seen on TV. I'm Nichole Goodnight. I've got some more wonderful runs for you. We're going to dive right in. We're going to jump right back onto Bluefa. So go ahead and take it away with your next run.
Whee. So next run is DuckTales 2. What a surprise. Yay. More Disney afternoon vibes, except it's still Thursday, not Tuesday, Thursday, and it's still the night. But bonsoir. So we are playing in Japanese because for a long time we thought it was the fastest version. It actually isn't, but it's just like not even a second or something, so we don't really care. But it's definitely by far the most stable version. So playing on the Japanese version. And voila.
Excited.
All right, you want a countdown?
Oui, please.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Woo!
Woo. I can't do normal woos anymore. You have to do the
I said
DuckTales
its
woo.
own run.
Also, Bluepa, I think this is the first time I've ever seen you play both of these games normally, like all the way through, because I'm so used to the shuffler and like the absolute chaos that ensues that like I don't know if I've ever seen you do these just like straight through.
Yeah, well, you know, I actually know these games.
I know you know them well enough to be able to swap between them at a moment's notice, so I had no doubts whatsoever. But it's funny to watch the normal, if you will, run.
Yeah. To be fairly honest, I haven't run them solo for such a long time. I've been like fully dedicated to shuffling them because it's really, really fun. But the lovely but old big potato that is my computer can't handle streaming a shuffle anymore. So, well,
Aww.
too bad.
I remember this section was always like harrowing with the shuffler. Any platform where you're like above a just very iffy area, not a good time.
Oh, it can be really scary.
Though I'm wondering now, because we're playing this on the Japanese version, I wonder what I have to admit. I really like Japanese Disney dubs.
I don't know if I've ever seen any.
Now I feel like I have to.
The one thing I will say is it's really nice because, especially for like music, because they have to like Disney does really good localization.
Yeah,
so
I would have to assume they would.
Yeah, so it's kind of like nice for if you're learning a language because they have to aim it like kid level.
Oh yeah.
So it's stuff that's usually like relatively understandable. So I know I could do at one. No, I guess probably still can. I know like the lyrics to like "Can you feel the love tonight," but that's kind of a cheat because the first line is still "Can you feel the love tonight" in English.
You're like, I know that one. I know
that
Japanese.
one, and then it's like "Ai wo kanjite yoru no yami ni mukete ai wa."
Oh, you know it.
Wow. You know it.
Oh my gosh.
And the thing is like
impressive.
That's like
I'm genuinely impressed.
That's like the best my Japanese is ever going to sound.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I had the wonderful experience. Where I live, we have a Japanese sister city, and we were having a sister city friendship celebration. It was so cute.
That's so cool.
So we had a bunch of wonderful folks come and visit from Japan to our town, and I got to have the experience of, you know enough English and I know enough Japanese that we can kind of communicate with each other.
Yeah.
It was fun. I appreciate. Much love to the lady who tried very hard to teach me origami.
Oh,
that's awesome.
That's so cute.
Bluepa, really remind me, it's not Japanese. What other languages do you speak? Because I know you're pretty fluent in some other.
Oh, I'm not fluent in anything else than English. I speak a bit of. I speak a bit of Spanish. I can pretty much understand it, but I'm speaking like a 5-year-old. and I have the knowledge of most likely a 1-year-old Korean child.
That's right. That's right. You said you at least had you had an exchange program in Korea, or there was something. That's right.
Yeah. I went there for studies for 4 months.
That's so cool.
And it was so fantastic.
Yeah, I imagine that's one of those once in a lifetime experiences that.
Oh yeah. Okay, I forgot my inputs. Terrible, Drupal.
Yeah, you got this. Happens. You're speeding along.
It should be good.
I'm always. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you're good. You're good.
I was just saying, I'm always amused, with the duck continuity, which of course is much. Well, no, the
another
thing
good band name.
There is so much duck lore that exists. If you go into the comics, it's ridiculous. I have seen the duck family tree, but I always am amused at how they have to render stuff that it was normally human, but then render it as ducks. So I was the moai, but they're ducks.
Very true.
Yeah. I guess I didn't really think about that. That is fun. I feel I did look up some duck facts. I feel like that's all I can bring to the table ever is facts about birds.
Canonically can't get wet. They're waterproof. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Canonically? Just use the word ducks canonically can't get wet.
I can and I did.
I'm pretty sure that's not what it says in my birding book, but
maybe
I
need
love.
A better book, okay?
Okay, well, you can write the next one. Do you want to hear? I think I've already said this one before, so tell me to stop talking. My favorite duck fact is the fact that ducks can have hemispheric sleep with their brain. So they can sleep one half of their brain and keep the other one awake, so they can look out for predators with one eye, which is the coolest thing I can think of that a bird could do. Is just nah, I'm gonna sleep the right half of my brain, but left half, gonna stay up.
It's gonna stay awake.
I'm
thick.
I didn't know about that. I'm genuinely impressed.
Yeah, it's all I got.
See, I'm over here with
and that's all you got.
No. that's all I got from my brain. But I looked up other ones. Apparently, there used to be an urban legend that duck quacks didn't echo. And they did a whole Mythbusters episode.
Really?
They had to I don't know. I didn't watch it, but I assume they brought a duck into a cave or something. Does it echo?
Shoot, I can just only imagine the quacking echo, quack, quack.
That's
quack.
phenomenal.
Yeah. I think I had one more. Where is it? I have them all in a Google Doc, which is concerning. And when search my computer, they'd be why?
I'm gonna be right there and search your computer.
Super. Oh, I was looking up duck facts before this, so I was let's just throw some in there, right? And one of the facts was just ducks are birds, which I thought was obvious.
I think so.
Yeah, I thought it was obvious, but I'm super glad they let me know. But in the website's defense, I didn't look up fun facts. I just looked up facts about ducks.
I'm gonna look up fun facts about ducks right now.
Yeah, I don't look up the normal facts because it'll just say ducks are birds, ducks have wings, ducks canonically can't get wet.
Oh, ducks canonically cannot get wet. Okay, cool.
It doesn't say that, Nichole.
Most duck eggs hatch within 28 days.
Ayo. Isn't that a zombie movie? 28 days later?
28 days later.
Immediately, I was great. That's how long it takes for the zombie apocalypse to happen, I think.
Oh,
I actually have never seen
ducks. That might ducks are well adapted for water. Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah,
I am not
surprised. No idea.
Ducks.
No, Nichole, I'm saying canonically. That's not how it works.
No, it is. It is. The duck cannon.
Duck Cannon. Whoa, the Duck Cannon is a great band name.
That will be when we change our music genre.
Mm-hmm.
Genre. how do we say?
Either one is fine.
Genre.
Genre.
Yep, you're right.
Okay. Sounds good then.
Someone in chat said ducks are smaller than the moon.
Oh
True.
my god,
True.
they're not.
It's very
You can't
true.
lie on live Twitch.tv like that. Thank you.
Lie on Games Done Quick.
Yeah, it's against the rules.
I went in the Disney Duck direction. I didn't know that they had like completely revamped Della Duck for the reboot of DuckTales. So good for her.
It's absolutely fantastic. Della is the best character. Don't at me. Also, I'm totally right. And if you don't think that's right, then you're totally wrong. And sorry to say. Please bear with me. Bonsoir. I just love Della so much.
I had to Google it because I'm the worst and have not seen the reboot, but I love her character design. It's very cute.
You have to watch the reboot. Like, stop whatever you're doing. Like, leave the stream right now.
Do you want me to log off or like what?
I found
Like, I can't believe I just said that, but please, you have most important things to do.
No, it's on my ever expanding list of things to watch. And I think it's now moved to the top because, I've been convinced in this moment that I need to do it right now.
Yeah, you do actually. I was looking up cool duck facts, and this one's kind of like, I feel like this is more a duckant than a duck fact, but apparently the eggs are creamier than chickens. Yeah, it's a duckant. Like, it's not a duck, it's an egg. Anyways, they're creamier than chicken eggs is what this... I don't think I expected to read an egg being described as creamy tonight, but here we are.
Oh, yeah, definitely I wasn't ready for that, but well.
Duckant.
I don't think the opposite of duck is egg, Nichole.
I think maybe you need to stop.
Anyway, we're on the last boss here.
Yeah, the time is coming up. I think it's right that time.
Yeah!
What a way to end the run.
Truly.
I just love it so much. Oh, thank you so much for being here. I just love this chaotic atmosphere. It's fantastic.
We're always here to bring the chaos anytime.
That absolutely is the best thing that could have happened to me around 5 a.m.
Yes. We're keeping you awake, and you know what?
Okay.
Good, because it's a
In
lot
the
of fun.
best way.
Why is this all in here? Why is this all in katakana? Like, why? Why was this the choice that we made?
I would have never noticed this.
I'm sure I can find the name of a dev and you can send them a letter to ask them.
Strong.
Just-
You will
Strongly
most
worded
likely
letter.
never get an answer, but you
Oh
know.
no, I won't get an answer. I'm just curious, like, why is it all? I mean, I could understand like a lot of like the names all being in katakana, but I'm like, why is all the text in katakana?
Interesting.
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness.
All right. Good run. Nice
Yeah,
run.
nice run. Very nice. We'll take a quick break. A little quick break will we do another duck-based game after this? Who knows, honestly. Will it still be Blueba? Also, we'll see. Chat, we'll
Time will
find
tell.
out. Yeah, time will tell. Please bring me more duck canon lore. Thank you very much. And I will see you very soon after the short break. Welcome on back, chat, to As Seen on TV on Games Done Quick. Thank you so much for waiting while we get set up for our next run. And by the way, your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick hotfix like this. Please consider subscribing if you enjoy the daily speedrunning content, and thank you so much for being here. We have another phenomenal duck-themed run by Blueba, so we're going to head and get that started. And please continue bringing the amazing bird cannon. Thank you so much.
Whee! So, fun fact for you, chat. Do you know that Darkwing Duck in French is called Mr. Mask?
That's phenomenal.
Well, now you know.
No, wait, is it Mr. Mask in English or is it like?
No, in English it's Darkwing Duck. And, shoot, okay, I got it. It's 5 in the morning. It's 5 in the morning, okay? But it's Mr. Mask in English, yes. Sorry.
It's like he's not Monsieur Mask.
You know what? Have a lovely end of your day. I'm leaving.
We bullied her all.
We did. She's gone.
I am the terror that rage quits the stream.
Oh, I'm just so afraid of this run.
No, you got this. We're going to count you down.
Come
Are you
on.
ready?
Come on.
We've got
Let's
Okay.
get dangerous.
Here we go.
Wait, I need to
Here we don't
go there. Now you can count me down whenever you want.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go.
This one is my favorite one to watch you run. I know it's terrifying right now, but like I think this one's so cool.
Shoot. Okay, I missed the first jump. I'm so sad. Go ahead. Up. Okay.
The sewers are like unforgiving in this particular run.
Like the whole game is unforgiving.
Yes.
To be fairly honest. I mean, like, since the last time you saw me play this one, Brie, like, I trained even more. So, that was a good day for my life as a speedrunner. You might have had your mind blown. Now I'm not sure you will, but a few things here and there changed since the last time you actually saw the run.
Oh,
okay. It's nothing major, but it's just a few fancy things here and there.
Ooh, I'm excited. Am I going to notice them, or are you going to have to point them out to me?
No, I guess you might notice them.
Okay.
Are the eggs that were chasing you before creamy duck eggs, do we think?
I have no idea, and I'd rather not ask.
What?
Like, I mean, I'm too afraid to ask.
It's a scary
That's
thought,
fair.
yeah. That is
It
fair.
is terrifying.
Yeah.
I think you have, what did you say, like 2 frames of invincibility when you get hit?
Shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did something stupid because I'm realizing, I don't know if chat can notice, but I'm losing frames on OBS. So that got me confused. Anyway.
I was actually
this
really impressed by the fact
brutal.
that you still managed to navigate through there while losing frames. So
Yeah. It was really impressive.
Well, I would say basically it's mostly a matter of muscle memory.
And that's something, I mean, how many times do you think you've played this game? Yeah.
Hundreds, maybe thousands.
Yeah. When did you,
Hundreds for sure.
when did you,
Maybe thousands.
when was the first time you started speed running Darkwing Duck?
The very first time, like the very first attempts were in 2014.
Oh, wow.
And basically, when I discovered the fantastic world of the speedrun, I don't know why, but naturally, the first game that came to me as, okay, I want to run this, was Darkwing Duck. And trust me, like, this is a terrible first experience.
Yeah.
Don't do that. And it was extremely hard, as you can imagine. Basically, really, really not suited for a first game. And I didn't realize how much work was needed for speedrunners to actually master their games. I was just, helplessly thinking, okay, these people are so gifted and talented, and there's no way I can ever reach that. So I pretty much gave up. And I started replaying it, like rerunning it in a little, like, as a side game in 2019, and it became my main one in 2021, I think.
That's impressive that you just picked it back up and you're like, you know what? I'm not going to let it beat me. Like, I'm going to just keep grinding it out. And now look at you. You're an incredible speedrunner.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I had to get my revenge on the game.
Oh, yeah. Revenge is like the #1 thing.
Literally, revenge and spite are the only things that are just driving me in this life.
Good driver.
It is. Yeah, that's what I'm told. Very healthy, good on the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Truly.
no, for sure. Keep on doing that.
Will do. I love this particular. I don't know if I will ever pick up this run. With as much as I've watched Bloopa, like, I have to suffer through some of this. Like, I don't know if I have the same patience that you do. It's amazing though.
It's alright. Like, I mean, at least you can try it casually, because that will already be quite an experience, trust me.
Well, yeah, I don't even know if I want to play it casually.
I can understand this. Strong statement, but a very valid one.
I don't even want to.
Pretty much as valid as saying that Tailspin sucks. But
yeah, that's a bold, strong tailspin feeling.
Everyone's allowed strong feelings about Tailspin.
well, and again, I'm really talking only about the game, and I gave it a fair chance. I really gave it a fair chance. It's just not for me.
It's good to recognize those things.
There's definitely games
Yeah.
like that.
Exactly. But rather than saying it's not for me, I'd rather be like 100% French and say that it sucks. You know? That's just part of that's just part of the French experience. Sorry about this. Also, not really sorry about this.
This game had some really. I think I like the arrow gas that you're using. The fact that you can cancel it and like drop it on enemies, and also use it as a platform. Like, I don't know. This had some really cool mechanics going on. I really admire.
It does. I just love that so much. And it's so powerful. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah. And like, look at him. He just like impaled himself on it. He didn't even have to do anything. It's great.
Shoot. Up. Shoot. These turtles are the worst. Like, their hitbox is absolutely huge.
It looks it.
It is. And shoot. I had these dogs as well. They're terrible.
I wonder what the first instance of video games representing turtles being able to like leave their shells was.
What?
Ooh, that's a good
He's throwing a shell, right? And in like Mario, like they have the shells come off, and I'm just wondering like who made that lie? Because when I was like an educator, kids would always be like, "Oh yeah, turtles can just leave their shells," and I'm like, "No, they're not supposed to."
I actually kind of love this idea that they just like sneeze and poof, no more shell.
Oh, speaking of Disney Capcom games, I can't remember if we've ever talked about Mickey and Minnie's Circus Adventure. Did you ever play that one? That was for the SNES.
I didn't.
That one had a couple of different bosses, I think, that they would sneeze. Like, there was a lion and he would sneeze and like his mane would just pop off for a second. I remember that so viscerally as a child. Yeah, no, that game is, I love that game. If that was my first like Capcom experience, hilariously enough, it was not Mega Man.
Okay.
So when I played Mega Man later in life, I was like, oh, this looks like Mickey and Minnie's Circus Adventure.
Well, you know, I had the same when I played Mega Man for the first time. I was like, wow, this is so oddly similar to Darkwing Duck. I'm so gonna die because of the frame music. Oh no, I'm not dead. Wow. Bravo.
Nichole, these are the scary bubblegum tree monsters that haunt my nightmares.
Shoot. Okay, now I'm dead.
That's okay. That means Nichole gets to see the scary bubblegum monsters.
Tree monsters, if we're being honest.
No.
Yeah, no, I kind of love them.
No.
Look at they're really good.
Yeah,
actually.
correct. Look at them. That's what I'm saying.
It's just vines with a flower that has teeth, and there's literally nothing wrong with that.
Is that a flower?
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Were
these even in the show?
It's supposed to be a flower.
I don't think these are in the show.
Okay,
I mean,
thank
to
you.
be fair, I was looking for Darkwing Duck catchphrases, and I learned about Crisis on Infinite Darkwings.
Oh,
Which was a comic series, and like there's just like a whole bunch of like different versions of Darkwing Duck, including like a Tron version and a Lady Gaga version. And I'm like, I want to see the art for this.
A Tron version? That sounds
Yes.
so cool.
Very
Yes.
interested in
Well, the
everything.
Tron, well, because the
I
Tron
am.
Darkwing goes like, I am the wall that crashes your light cycle.
Oh my god.
And the
Wow.
Lady Gaga Darkwing is like, I am the romance that always ends bad. I'm like, I want to see the art that goes with this.
This is
How do I-
phenomenal.
Yeah.
How do I purchase this comic book
I didn't knew I needed that in my life, but I strongly need
from
that.
from 2010?
Wow.
That's so long ago.
Is this the one where you need quiet? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's gonna be soon.
Okay.
But worry not. Basically, at the end of the tree thingy that I'm jumping on because I can't remember its name. Don't you think it kind of looks like the writing on the
ring?
the ring of the
Yes,
Lord of the Ring?
yes.
Yeah.
There was a Sailor Moon Darkwing.
What? That's amazing.
Oh, you got it. Did you get it?
Okay,
You got
done.
it.
Yep.
Yeah. What is the audio cue there? I don't know if you've ever explained it to me. I just knew you were like, I need to listen here.
Basically, it's kind of a mix in between an audio cue and a visual cue, to be fairly
Okay.
honest. Like, I'm just listening to the dum 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 dum.
Fascinating.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, most terrible level.
Really? This one?
What?
Not the sewers?
Yeah. This is by far the hardest in the game, in my opinion.
Wow.
Shoot. Okay, so I wanted to try like a fancy move or something, but I'm not sure I will be able to do so. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna try.
I love that I was watching on a slight delay, so I got your laugh before I got the result. It was great.
Okay. So OBS basically like confirmed to me I'm not gonna try that. Sorry, chat. Also, kinda not sorry. Also, maybe I will just try to, I don't know, restart OBS after this one.
What was the fancy
don't know what's
move?
going
I'm so
on.
curious. Like,
That's a new thing basically. Like if you use a arrow, and the thing is it's pretty unpredictable. Like on the one before last, you snap a arrow which will stick here, and basically if you jump correctly, you will be able to. Oh no, but I'm gonna die because I'm stupid. Yep. How many lives do I have still? Okay, yeah. So I'm not gonna try the fancy move, but if you happen to, it's tricky to explain because it's not fully working all the time. Sometimes you will be just you will end up on the arrow, and the arrow will just like, oh, I can't find my words, like
give you
basically
a boost.
just no, not that, like, you know, when you cancel the arrow, it just goes down.
Mm-hmm.
You will have the same effect, but even though you haven't canceled it yourself.
Interesting.
And that's really odd. And so sometimes it's really, really up to the game to
Right.
choose if that will work or not.
It's a lot of trust to put in this game.
Well, if you happen to have enough time and enough lives, it's worth trying because, first of all, it's super impressive. Like, it's a really neat move. Shoot, pardon. Pardon my French. And yeah, it's a bit fancy, and it saves a bit of time because you don't have to wait for the other platform to just go down, if that makes sense.
neat. Oh, I am remembering how like unforgiving this particular level is. The genies,
Yeah.
the little duck genies are just like massive and unavoidable, it feels.
The Deenies.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Nichole. That's definitely an option. For sure. We'll workshop it. We'll take it back to the workshop.
But then we fight Megavolt.
Mais
It doesn't.
bouge.
It-
Seriously? I played this bad?
No. The
What?
game is just not
Okay.
playing nicely.
You are kind of
Mhm.
also
Okay,
lagging,
okay,
so
okay,
I
thank
wouldn't
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good fight altogether.
I
You did it.
know, I know. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry about
No,
this.
you're
fine.
killing it.
I told you. My
Job
computer's
well
a big
done.
potato.
Yeah, job well done, said the game. And us.
you.
And us.
I hope you-
Job well done.
Thank you.
I hope you know I'm like furiously Googling chipmunk facts because I only have duck facts
Canonically,
prepared.
chipmunks are neither chips nor monks.
It is very true, though.
I'm gonna let you have this. Anyway, there are kangaroos and they're throwing basketballs. Do you have any kangaroo
Wait.
facts, Nichole?
Yeah, absolutely. They got a little pocket for the babies.
It's so cute.
You're so right. They super do.
But the weirdest thing is the baby has to crawl up into the pocket.
Which is kind of
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's a little terrifying to TBH.
I think kangaroos in general are terrifying just because of how muscular they are. Like, you've seen videos of them like punching people or kicking people, not punching. But like, I don't know. I don't trust the way they're built. I'm scared of kangaroos, to be honest with you. They literally are. And like not in a way that's cool.
Shoot. Mais come on. Bleu peu. Mais fais un effort.
I'm actually shocked
Okay.
that these ones are so good at basketball because when I think of kangaroos, I don't think of their free throws. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, does the Airbud rule apply to kangaroos?
I think it does. That's another. Is there an Airbud video game?
Oh,
There
there's
has
gotta
to
be.
Okay, well, I'm gonna Google. That's way off
I-
base, but
I have a fun fact, like cartoons related. Bree knows about it, but it's an interesting one to bring. So in France, and I think it also got released in Italy, but basically that was a Europe only thingy. We used to have when I was a kid a cartoon called Les Kangourous, which was based on kangaroo playing basketball. It was released, if I do remember well, after Darkwing Duck, and for whichever reason, they're extremely similar to the enemies in the game, and we have no idea if they were even related or not.
that is really cool. How would you
It
say
is.
in French? How would you say basketball playing kangaroo?
Des kangourous qui jouent au basket.
I love
I
that.
do too, actually.
I love French. It's the
It's
best.
very good.
Literally so cool.
Trust me, it's not that cute and lovely and everything. Believe me, as a French speaker who is cursing a freaking lot.
I love that fun blooper lore. Sorry, someone mentioning Airbud in the chat. About imagine going to your son's basketball game and they get wrecked by a golden retriever. I do think about that.
Airbud sure was a movie, huh?
It was.
Hold up. Airbud was
I don't
12
agree.
movies.
Oh, that's right. They did release like a lot of
There was a
Airbuds.
lot. I went and I counted. It looks like there's like about I think it's okay. There's Airbud Golden Receiver,
Oh my god.
Airbud World Pup, Airbud 7th Inning Fetch, Airbud Spikes Back, and then the Air Buddies series, which is a sub series, is Air Buddies, Snow Buddies, Space Buddies, Santa Buddies, Spooky Buddies, Treasure Buddies, Super Buddies. And then Search for Santa Paws and Search for Santa Paws 2, the Santa Pups. So there you go. There's all the Airbud movies.
very
There was, sadly, though, no video games, as far as I can tell, which
That's so
seems
sad.
like a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, I feel like we're missing out on something here.
Especially because Airbud came out, the original came out in 1997. So you could just imagine, like, the absolute glorious, like, PS1 style graphics.
Oh yeah,
I
no,
would
I
play
feel
that
like that's
game.
the prime franchise to be making a video game out of. We can just do it
You-
now.
you-
Do we have any fun
Yeah.
game developers in chat that want to just make Air Bud the game right now and not worry about the licensing issue and legal trouble that might come?
You just don't call it Air Bud. You can have a legally distinct basketball playing dog. It's fine.
Make it a different kind of, like, it has to be like a Dalmatian or something. Pick I was going to say like a Shih Tzu or like something small, like a Yorkie. Something that definitely would not be playing basketball. That's what I want to see.
A corgi.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
I'm in. I'm fully investing. Sharks. I'm accepting the deal. Oh wait, no, I have to be the shark, and I'm offering the deal.
I accept the deal. Wait,
Thank you so
what's your deal?
much.
I accept
I don't
it.
$1 million for the corgi
Done,
playing
absolutely.
basketball.
Nice.
0% equity.
Yeah, well, we'll have to discuss that.
Anyway, we're on the last stage.
Yeah, it's the last boss.
My whole job here is to derail and then say, anyway, we're at the end.
Act like you were the one who's getting us back
That's
on
absolutely
track.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Look at these bones.
Okay, time.
Woo!
Woo!
Nice job.
Thank you.
Very good, GG.
GG.
Well, chat, you know what that means. We're going to take a very short break and be back with not more ducks.
Wait
Okay,
a
I
sec.
can do this.
Because if they've never seen the ending of the game, they need to see
chat, I'm
it.
sorry. I'm not going to be right back, actually.
Yeah, and Nichole, you also need to see it if you haven't
I actually
saw it in the
haven't,
past.
believe it or not.
Yeah.
But I will talk about our next run while we're getting to the end of the game, and that's that it's not about ducks.
Yep.
We broke our duck streak.
Yeah, our duck streak has been broken.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Rest in peace, duck streak.
rest in peace, Darkwing. Jeez.
Yeah. Darkwing's gone.
Au revoir, Mr. Mask.
Au revoir.
Into the sunset. Or the moonset? The moonlight? The moon night? Anyways,
The stuff.
words are very
It's-
hard.
Fantastic ending.
All right.
Nice job, Lupa.
Now I'm allowed
Yeah.
to kick everyone out to go on a short break. Before I had to follow the instructions of our duck overlord, but now I can say we'll be right back in just a few with more Bloopa, more Seen on TV, and no more ducks. See you soon. Welcome on back to As Seen on TV on Games Done Quick. Hello. I hope you had a good little break. We are back with more speedruns from Saturday morning cartoons here on a Thursday night or Friday morning or whatever time it is for you. Let's go ahead and just jump right back into it. And like I said, no more ducks. We're done with ducks. We're chipmunks, ducks out, chipmunks in. Let's go to the game.
Yay! Alright, so just so chat knows, something already happened and you don't know it. Basically, we let the demo run once so we can set and fix the RNG. So this is being done. I should be safe on the RNG. And yeah, this is my second time running this game for an event, and the first time was terrible, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed and trusting that this one will go well. And also, there is the best chipmunk. I'm totally not sorry for this.
Oh, you need a countdown.
And I'm... Yeah, like I was about to say, I'm ready to go.
We're all just waiting. We're like, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true, actually.
We're here for your chipmunk opinions.
But not to count you down, apparently. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. We can't woohoo.
No, now we can
more
just,
ducks.
yeah, will.
Oh, you can
Yeah, woo.
still woohoo.
Still
You can
woohoo.
always
And you
woohoo.
You can also
I forget.
chip and Dale.
Thank you. I was just gonna ask. I was like, I forget what is the Chip and Dale one.
Rescue
I watched much of
Rangers,
this when I was a
Chip and
kid.
Dale when there's danger.
And I've certainly never seen the game. This is one I've never seen you run, Boopa, so I'm like already very excited.
It's a nice one. Like, actually, the thing is, I got back to it for basically this event, and I actually, absolutely don't regret it because I forgot how nice and fun of a run it is. What the... Pardon. C'est bon.
You gotta stop jinxing yourself
so,
like that.
Okay, so I was about to say this game is really nice and fun to play. Like, it's a really nice run. No one will trust me after seeing what just happened, but it actually is really true.
Remind me, which one did you choose you're playing as right now, Chip or Dale?
It's the first one.
Okay, cool.
Was that the question?
Chip has the red nose, I think, right? And Dale has the black one?
I think I didn't actually got your question then.
You're good. You were fine. I was just like, so probably Chip, right? Like that's the first one in the sentence.
Oh no, I'm sorry. No, it's
okay.
Dale.
This is Dale.
Like I thought you were asking if that was Chip and Dale 1 or Chip and Dale 2.
Different colored noses.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's how
You're
you told them.
Right.
You could tell them apart, like in the older cartoons.
Chip and has a black nose, and Dale has a red nose. Way back when.
What is what's the canon behind that? I need an explanation.
The website, the Google. Oh my god, I'm old. Says just think of a chocolate chip, which is similar in color to Chip's nose.
Yeah, but that doesn't give me the why is Dale's node red? Why is it red?
It was to help differentiate them.
Yeah,
because Chip and Dale originally started as just regular chipmunks. And then
now they're superhuman chipmunks.
Yeah, but this is back in the 1940s. You had the original Chip and Dales, and then you had I'll throw this out there. Don't get me wrong, Chip and Dale is fine, but does anyone for old school cartoons? Goofy Gophers were the sassier versions of Chip and Dale that were the Looney Tunes versions.
Sassier versions.
What? Yes,
that's amazing. I just realized they're running over pots of boiling water, to be made into soup.
Chipmunk soup.
That's such typical chipmunk stuff.
If you happen to fall in the pot, you die instantly.
That's some good chipmunk lore.
Accurate. Yeah, right.
Canonically, chipmunks are not heat resistant.
Yeah, I probably. I haven't Googled it, so I can't confirm that, but I do respect your chipmunk canon, which again, good band name for sure.
All right, I had to look it up. So the Goofy Gophers came out at roughly the same time that Chip and Dale came out in the early 1940s, and the Goofy Gophers are Mac and Tosh.
Oh, okay, that's cute.
Yes, but I remember them because they were they're so sassy.
Oh yes, okay. I've just Googled them. They kind of look like it's Jerry from Tom and Jerry, but a little bit their cheeks are just a little bigger.
Oh, they're very cute.
Yeah. They're cute.
I love them.
I love them too. I don't recognize seeing them from any cartoons, but
you also have to know that this is one of the smartest things I ever did in college. I got away with being able to literally write a paper about cartoons.
That's phenomenal.
That's so cool. What about specifically?
Specifically about the very weird, looking back at it now, the very weird cartoons of World War II.
That is fascinating.
So it's a really interesting subject for sure. It is definitely a subject that you have to kind of treat very carefully.
Yeah, for sure.
Is the other kind of half of it. But there are all sorts of interesting things that started at that time. The one interesting thing to me is the one time when Donald was more popular than Mickey. Because
I feel like I have heard. Good?
Yeah, I don't like Mickey Mouse. I also don't like Donald, to be fair, but
you could because Donald was in a ton of World War II era cartoons. That's why.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I also don't like Goofy.
Come on.
Okay, let's maybe unpack that a little bit, Nichole.
I just hate him.
Why? Why do you hate Goofy?
I can't explain it. I
Gosh!
This is about evanescence somehow, I think. This has something to do with
Did you say
that.
evanescence?
Yeah. You've
Look,
seen it,
hold up,
right?
hold up. Posey did so good on that, though. That is actually really good voice acting. I will defend.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
No, Nichole, you need to Google Evanescence Goofy.
Do I?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so incredible.
It's pretty good.
Okay, I'll just Google
Yes.
it. If the first
Yeah,
hit
add
is
that
Sings
to your
Bring Me to
Google.
Life, and I am very upset already.
It sure is. Anyway, these levels are delightful to watch. I'm having a great time observing these with my eyeballs. And Bloopa, you're killing it. You're doing such a good job.
I'm very
Thank
upset by
you.
the thing I just listened to, and I only listened to about 10 seconds.
Start for like 2 seconds.
I'm
you're like,
14
no.
seconds in, and I'm very upset.
Yeah.
Wake me up.
But at the same time, though,
Very well.
you have to give props to his. I'll use his proper name, Sungwon Cho, for actually doing the job that he did on that.
It was
That is
very good.
actually very impressive.
It is.
Like you could have Kurt. Here's the thing. I appreciate anyone who can fully commit to a bit and just go put their whole heart and soul into the stupidest thing you've ever
Oh, yeah.
watched. And I'm like,
That's
yes,
what I'm here
perfect.
for. Also, Bloopa, what are you collecting? I know it's this game's version of coins, but are they just? Do they have anything to do with?
The kind of flowers. Yeah, basically, if you gather 100 of them, you will have a kind of shiny star showing, and if you grab it, basically you have a one up.
Oh, neat. Okay. I
Yeah.
was just curious if that was part of the speedrun or if you just happen to be collecting them as you're going.
Basically, when you're a top runner, you will pretty much not care. I'm not specifically waiting to grab more of them. I'm just trying to, how do we say, optimize my way through getting them because one-ups are nice and helpful.
Yeah, no, definitely. This game does look a little more forgiving than Darkwing does, for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is. Basically, it's when it comes to the speedrun, it's harder for sure than DuckTales 1 and DuckTales 2. But it's way, way easier than Darkwing.
Oh, we are going into space.
And-
Wow.
Yeah, but not for long.
Oh.
I'm
Wow.
just
we're
going,
leaving space.
"Aw."
Wow.
That was a nice trip. Hope we
I was
took
so
pictures.
excited.
nice
I'm like, are we going to
time.
Mars? That'd
Oh
be
yeah, I thought we were
great.
going back to some DuckTales. I was like, oh, we're going to the moon, and then came back down.
That would have been so freaking awesome.
Surprise ducks.
Yeah, if they could just... Well, Chip and Dale, they came before... You know what? I don't know enough about Disney lore to know if they came. They came before
I do-
the DuckTales series, right?
I do think that Rescue Ranger came after
Oh, it did?
DuckTales.
Okay, good to know. I
right.
feel like I watched those when I was very, very little, and I don't remember
Okay.
a ton.
All right, so DuckTales 1987.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really older than
Yeah.
it sounds.
You can't just say something in 87
no.
is old. You can't just do this.
Too bad. We're all have to experience that together. All right, and then 1989 for Chip and Dale.
Oh, wow. Okay, not what I expected.
I didn't expect to be the oldest thing here, including the games, and I have a lot to reflect on.
I'm there's a decent chance I'm older than you. So
Oh my gosh, we can join hands and be friends.
Yes.
Also-
I'm 1985.
I'm 85 too.
Friends.
Yay!
Yeah. Also, Frisbee, when can turtles take off their shells is living rent free in my head.
Okay, Okay,
I'm upset.
just so you know, I actually went and I was like, okay, what is the earliest that I could find a depiction of this? Because now I was curious. Okay, so 1932, back in the rubber hose animation era, there's a cartoon called Freddy the Freshman that includes a turtle that can take off its shell.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that is really interesting.
That is
Thank
really
you for
cool,
Googling
actually.
that. I love that you follow up. Sometimes I just say words and I'm like, that's out in the universe now. And then I just don't follow up on it. But like,
So,
you're the best.
thank you, TV Tropes, for like researching that. So there you go.
That's great.
Oh boy.
J'ai oublié. Pardon. Sorry. Panic in French. The comeback.
Oh, good.
It's
Panic
the
in French,
second
too.
album.
What is this like little green flying frog that keeps like hanging out above your head? I'm not really sure what that is. It's what?
It's Zipper.
Yeah, it's absolutely. Oh, okay. Everyone knows Zipper. That's great.
It's a character. It's a fly, and basically, when you have Zipper, you're invincible.
Oh,
Because Zipper is just destroying everyone.
I
for
see.
you.
Okay.
And apparently, when Zipper is around you, you can also step on. How do we say? Un crew. I forgot
That's
my
okay.
English.
I got
Are
you.
they the
I'm very
thumbtack
veteran.
things?
Not and it's not a needle. It's like I saw that Senen is in chat. Senen, please back me up on that if
Oh
you're
yeah, I
here.
think Nichole, you said
Is it the
thumbtack,
How do we
right?
say? I don't
little
know.
push
Or like a
pins?
pin.
Kinda like the thing you're using it. Oh, it's a screw.
Oh.
It's a screw.
Yes.
Because it's a screwdriver. Yeah. So yeah. Basically, apparently, Zipper is able to ensure that when he's around, you are not attacked by that. It doesn't make sense, but
I mean,
well.
we'll take it.
Why is this factory full of axes? What are they making in here?
Oh, they're making axes.
This is a
for
very
sure.
dangerous factory.
Yeah.
It's
Have there ever
it's
been a
the-
factory in video games that was OSHA compliant?
No, but there should be.
Wait, hold up. Shenmue, at least you had to be forklift certified.
Forklift certified.
There's a
I
whole
love that.
forklift section of Shenmue,
That's
including
phenomenal.
forklift racing.
Oh,
Which
see,
is-
that doesn't seem OSHA. I
No,
don't
that's
think they
not
want you to
OSHA
do
compliant.
that.
The rest of it is.
Yeah, no, Senen, I know that screw is not un clou. It's just that I wanted to say a screw and then I forgot in the meantime, and that's time.
Yeah, good job. Nicely
Last
done.
boss? We did it! GG!
Nice job. I love that you were arguing at the time of time. That was amazing.
Oh my god. What a great set of runs that we just experienced, lived through, were
Oh
part
yeah, that
of.
was an experience.
Just that was well, that's exactly the vibe that I wanted to have with you. I'm just so happy that you were there because that was just so perfect. And I can kind of say that I'm like at peace with this game now because I'm really happy with this
I'm
run.
glad.
Yay!
That was a great
Yeah.
run. That was a great set of runs. You did
That was
awesome.
really good, yeah. If people wanted to find you, where could they find you?
They can find me on different social medias. There is one that is kind of dying, or not really. I'm not sure. It's really unclear for the moment, but you can find me there. I'm also on another social media where, how do we say, the sky is bluer. You can find me there. I have a Twitch channel. I haven't streamed for like 2 years or something on my channel, but who knows, maybe that will happen at some point. And if you happen to be a French-speaking person and you're interested in ladies and non-binary people in speedrunning, a bunch of friends and I basically created a channel and a, how do we say, a
Community?
crew crew. I think that makes sense. A crew whose basically job is dedicated to bringing visibility to the runners, like lady runners and non-binary runners of the French-speaking community, because we don't tend to see them enough. So the name is called Fast and Fabulous, and we have a Twitch channel. We are also on the different social medias that I mentioned previously. If you happen to be a French-speaking person, or if you're just curious, you can follow us there. Because it's so, like, visibility is so freaking important. So yeah, that's pretty much where you will be able to find me.
Yeah, well.
And on different other channel and different events and stuff. I'm everywhere.
Oh.
That's so
Thank you for
exhausting.
being here. I really appreciate it. I know it's super early for you, so I'm really glad you were able to make
It's
it and that we could
alright.
showcase some of your runs.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. Like, I had such a lovely time, and thank you so very much, you all, for being around. That was exactly what I wanted this hour of shenanigans to be, and you're absolutely wonderful, and I just love you so
Aw.
much.
We love you.
We
This
love
was a
you
blast.
too. And for the commentators, real quick, if we wanted to find you, where could we find you?
Katie, go for it.
You can find me. I am also on a variety of social medias, always as Scala Kitty. I do stream occasionally on Twitch, so you can also find me there, and it's always Scala Kitty is where you can find me. And I hope to be participating in some different events. Well, just keep your eyes out.
And you can find me at twitch.tv/Breesby. I do stream occasionally. I also have a little YouTube series called The Canon Conversation With. I talk to a lot of your favorite speedrunners like Bloopa, Nichole Goodnight, a whole shebang. So if you want to follow me over there, I really love doing those as well.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, a candid conversation was absolutely fantastic, and it's definitely worth the time.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. Chat, we will be back in just a few with some more runs. Hang in there, get some water, stand up, stretch. We'll be back in a little bit. See you soon. Welcome on back to As Seen on TV on twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick. I hope you had a nice little break. By the way, if you missed out on any of our other Hotfix shows or past events like Flame Fatales, be sure to check out the VODs on youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to press that like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, go to twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick if you're interested in looking at our live content. And chat, we've got some more amazing games. We've already gone through 4. We still have 2 more games for you today. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in and go over to Robotech.
I guess I can start by saying hi all. I'm Magus1, otherwise known as Magus or just Mage. Feel free to call me Mage. How and Nichole. Anyway, this is Robotech, the Macrross Saga HD edition. I guess to start things off, I should explain the category as it says New Game Rick. This game has multiple different characters. Rick being one of the characters, and each character has their own unique stats. Well, not one. So technically, new game is a misnomer because it just means new character playthrough because of everything else in that one. Which is why one of the reasons why I have every character unlocked, just to showcase that even that type of a thing is allowed. Anyway, whoops. Forgot I entered the code for that one, so give me 1 sec to delete my file. I still... Yep, give me 1 sec.
Take your time, Mages. While you're getting that sorted out, do you mind if I introduce
Sure
myself?
thing, George. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm George. I'm here to essentially provide context on like general shmups and stuff. I'm a Toho player with an lunatic no-bomb in embodiment of Scarlet Devil. I still can't believe I can say that now. So that's cool. And I'm essentially just gonna be here to provide some like generic context on like shoot 'em ups and introduce you all to like the concept and stuff. Provide a little bit of background information.
Anyway, before we get started, I want to explain one quick thing about the Barotechs, also known as Valkyries in the original Macrross Saga, and the whole Macrross franchise as a whole. They have 3 different forms. the version you currently see on stream, which is the Battleoid. Here you will probably never see me do because it stops the action. Fighter you'll also see here and there, and the Guardian, which is the hybrid of the two, you will see me use for almost the entire run for, well, reasons that I shall explain. Anyway, let's get this party started. In a 3, 2, 1, let's go. And we're off. Woo!
Go.
If you feel like explaining this one?
Sure. So for those of you who've never seen a shoot 'em up before, the shoot 'em up genre is essentially you have a character with usually a small hitbox, usually have a small hitbox, and just tons of stuff is gonna be on screen, and you need to know where enemies start appearing. You need to take out a lot of enemies. And generally speaking, I don't know how it is for this game actually, but generally speaking, the longer you progress into the game, the harder it gets to.
That is true for this game to some degree.
Yep.
But at the same point, we also have some RPG stuff to make it a bit easier.
Yep. It gets a little bit easier, but like in terms of like stats management later on. This is one of the rare shmups where you actually have a big stats system with like, let me just look up with strength, stamina, and speed.
Yep.
So
take a look at the upper left-hand corner, and you can see that there's a little box next to that says EXP, and then that's basically how much I earn, which is essentially instead of a score, I get EXP. So you'll see me try to get as much of that as possible, because that's also how we get extra lives.
Within the shmup sort of like genre, there are actually subcategories. For myself, for example, I play Barrage or Toho, right? Toho is of the Barrage genre, which is actually the game just throws so much stuff at you that you can barely even see through it, and you need to know exactly what you're doing. This is not Barrage. I don't actually know exactly what this genre of shmup is called.
I'd say hybrid.
But it's cool. Yeah, it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid.
And it's also very easy to get in to learn the run for. You got categories for every character, and it's pretty easy to learn.
It is also not permadeath. You can see in the top left there is a health bar, so if you get hit, you won't immediately die. There's sort of like a health bar involved in everything, and so it's a little bit more forgiving in that regard.
And I guess to start with explaining what's going on in the story, well, I'll first start off by explaining for those that do not know what Robotech is. Robotech is a hybrid of 3 different animes that came out in the 80s in the US. The animes were Super Dimensional Fortress Macrross, Super Dimension Hyper Cavalry Southern Cross, and Genesis Chamber. Do not ask me to remember the rest of that anime's name, because it's a little bit hard to remember on that one. But long and short of it is, thanks to syndication rights at the time having to have a minimum of 80 episodes, they had to combine some stuff together, and they were able to turn 3 separate animes into one cohesive story. Sort of like Voltron, considering that is an actual hybrid of 2 different shows. Fun fact, and the more you know. Also, hi chat.
And a lot of people, hi. And a lot of people don't know this, but the Mages actually told me about this myself. I did not know this myself before until like 10 minutes ago. The Macrross like anime series and everything involved with it actually did a lot of good for this entire like genre of anime. Specifically like mechanical like Transformers genre.
Yes.
You can probably talk more about that.
To be fair, the original Macrross anime came out in the, I think it was 83 or 82, and it helped popularize, hold on a minute, I almost gotta remember that tech there. You will also see me use the heck that we can take damage, still kill enemies, and still get EXP for that one, so you will see me actually health management here and there to actually get rid of, to actually screen clear some enemies, and also pick up some EXP.
Speaking of EXP, I believe there is a 30,000 EXP trigger that you're trying to reach for this mission.
15, it's 35 for the highest level, and
35.
Hold on a minute, because I want to get rid of that enemy real quick before it spawns. Oh, it gets on screen, I should state. But, Macrross did a lot for that kind of, help with a lot of the transformation things, if those Gundam fans out there. This predates stuff like Zeta and Gundam Wing and other stuff like that, so it did actually help pioneer that one. But story-wise, it's the day after it's basically been 10 years since a great war ended, as with most animes on that one. End of a war. But basically, it ended in a single night. You might wonder, well, how can humanity end an entire war in a single night, especially when it's a global conflict? Short answer: alien ship crash lands on Earth. As you could.
Oh.
I mean, I think that's gonna end any type of war, for humanity. Ah, crap! Just cost myself a life by accident.
That was unfortunate.
It's okay. It's coming up to the first boss, and with 5 lives, because 0 counts as a life, I should be okay. But anyway, it's been 10 years since then. Rick here is during the time frame. Basically, Rick here was not a member of the military. However, his friend Roy, basically a war hero and basically known as Skull Leader, was. The best way to describe it is that at the end of that war, basically humanity came together. They found something called protoculture, which helped with, creating new technology and stuff like that. Give me a second here. There we go. Basically, as I said, it's been 10 years since humanity came together. Today, the ship is supposed to launch again. And essentially, humanity came together. They rebuilt the ship. The city formed up around it called Macrross City. And the day they were supposed to launch it had a surprise attack from the aliens that owned the ship, also known as the Zadrati. You may wonder why we have the Battleoid mode. That's because they're 50 feet tall, humanoid shape, and all about war. Well, let me rephrase that. It's not all about war, but war is all they know. Anyway, after. Basically, the SDF-1 basically made its escape, barely, but they did something known as a hyperspace fold in order to get out of there, but they also took part of the city with it, and that's one of the interesting things about Macrross as a whole, is it helped show, the civilian side of conflicts in war, and a good way to describe it is, someone put it properly with it. When I was at watching a panel on that one, because learning more about it, because I grew up with just the Robotech side of stuff. I believe the best way they described it was what? Love, music, and space.
Yep, pretty much.
And long and short of it is that you get to see a lot of the civilian side of stuff alongside the toll that those type of things can take on things. And you have to avoid that, there. Oh well. It's okay.
Oh, that's good.
It's okay. I'll just.
This is also one of the first stages that the game starts throwing enemies not just from in front, but also from behind you, which is you just have to know about that.
Yep.
Shmups in general are a lot about routing. You can. It's nice to just drop into a shmup and just learn it and not know much about it. But if you want to get good at a specific shoot 'em up, you have to know what's going to be on screen at pretty much any given time during the run.
And also, depending on character statistics as well. But then again, this is a great one to learn, the different styles of things, because each character having their own stats makes it so that way each character can play slightly differently, but also slightly the same. 1 minute, you want to dodge those. Fire the missiles there, use that there. Although I'm low at health, I do know a health upgrade is coming. Want to avoid that one, and crap. That just means I use the fact of iframes to get rid of enemies. But as I was saying with the story, so essentially, Super Dimensional Fortress 1, also known as the Macrross, or SDF-1 for short, warped out of there, took a large chunk of the civilians with them, and are now trying to get back home. So, what is here is essentially, as I said before, he was, Rick here. I'm used to showcasing Roy, and this is the first time actually showcasing Rick in this type of a setting, so hopefully you all enjoy it. Wanna hide that there, switch to there. But anyway, Rick basically showed up on the first episode as Roy's friend, thinks of him almost like as an older brother to him, because during the time between the war, between the war and them rebuilding the ship, basically Roy, civilian life, ended up joining a flying circus and acted like an older brother to Rick. But as I said, like, just trying to dodge some of this stuff real quickly here. And you'll see me constantly keep firing on some stuff. This is so that, because of how the enemies move, I can make sure that I can actually get rid of them while evading things. Avoid the fire down there.
Which is not the easiest thing, by the way, I want to say. Like, knowing where to position yourself to actually, do damage while also dodging bullets is one of the core concept you have to learn when you're playing, like, any shoot 'em up
Oh, not
game.
just that, but I'm also using an analog stick.
Yeah. Oh, that too. Oh, yeah.
So yes, this game is possible to be done with an analog stick, and at present it is a Switch exclusive, although its original version was on the GBA. Fun fact, apparently October 16th, 2002 is when it came out. And this theft is intentional, so I can basically clear all those and get all the experience. Also, you'll notice at the end of each mission, when possible, I will fly up to the right-hand corner of the screen in the fighter mode. That's because if I do not, you'll slowly see me transform back into that and then slowly go off screen. And with that, I want to take the strength and take the missiles. What is my upgrade with a lot of lives? Anyway, they made it back to Mars. And this is the first of the isometric style stages. You'll see me take the Defender here. This is known as a Destroy. The reason I take the Defender, even though it does not have the best stats, is for, well, let's call it a little surprise. I'll explain in a minute. As right now, we're just trying to get rid of some enemy landers. You'll see me take out some of the enemies here and there, just to actually make sure that that officer's destroyed, so I can actually pick up a little bit of health it drops. Down here. So remember how this is not the strongest? Well, you see, the thing is that the the missile version for this has the property of being an 8-way shot, and we can clip slightly into those things, so we can hit them with an entire attack, with an entire 8-way shot in one shot. So kinda does help. And you can also see that the enemies that have that, so we have to try to avoid them because they can do the same thing to us. So that. I'll burn a few of those there rather than take a death. Take care of that one there because I'm approaching the second one there. Pop this one there. As you can see, just like how much the difference is between just being able to two-shot those to not. Considerably, but there's another refill, which we want. Anyway, we're we're on our way back to Earth from this, and you'll see just immediately like how fast my health can deplete with that. Let's see here, up this way, fire, so that way I can make sure to get any enemies that are around. And yes, I did die, and I can still do that even if I take a death. Yeah, I'll play it conservatively on that one and take the stamina because marathon safety technically, and showcase safety. Anyway, we are now inside a Zentradi ship that we thought was a derelict. By the way, George, what are your thoughts on just like the style of ups that actually switch up the style, between SMUP and other gameplay styles?
Say that again,
Okay,
sorry?
I was saying, what do you think of some of these shoot 'em ups that mix up the gameplay styles so that it's not just a pure shoot 'em up, but also other stuff as well?
Well, as a Chronicle Toho player, I can tell you all I see is bullets and hitboxes.
Fair.
I actually, when I play shmups, I essentially just min-max for gameplay. So, I don't really I don't see the game background until somebody points it out to me. Shoutouts to 10 Desire Stage 6, which is just a rotating cylinder. Shoutouts to Gastare, who told me that.
Anyway, what you just saw me do was fly up high, so that way the enemies that would spawn just a tiny bit higher, and so that I could also pick up the triple shot here, which is based off of time you actually fire the button, not number of shots or anything else like that. So slowly on that one. If I wanted to, I could stop to hit the one enemy that was behind me on the ground, but who has time for that? Anyway, want to fly down there, avoid that there, fire those there. Bugs down low. The one interesting thing about Guardian is because it actually has legs and feet, we can touch the ground, which is why you'll see me using that all over the place, because I can lean into the floor slightly. Still take damage on the ceiling, but hey, it covers half the possibility of taking damage. Also, it really does not... You lose a tiny bit of speed by doing that one, but the screen claw is still the same on that one, which is why you do not see me take any points in speed or piloting, except if I have gotten every other level for that. Because speed only affects the Battleoid form, and piloting is basically just how fast you move, not screens. So, want to do that there, want to do that there. This is just perfectly so I can get that one, and that's blind game. So we want to do that there, 25. Yeah, I'll take the level 6. I'll take full level 6 on that one because I've got the ability to. Now, I'm going to shut up. Pardon the language here. This mission is hell. I need to shut up and concentrate. Oh no.
Oh yeah, this one.
So, you know how you said about needing a small hitbox?
Yeah.
How big is my hitbox? We can't transform. We are forced to do this in the Battleoid form on that one, and this eats lives. So the smartest thing I can do is just get rid of the enemy fields as fast as possible to minimize as much stuff as I can, eat a life or two if I can, and just just try not to game over. 3 lives. Okay, got to the second phase of the sets, so I just need to hang out here. Try to avoid taking deaths.
What was that hitbox? Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, you see why this...
That is... that is a thing. Like, I'm used to like 2-3 pixel hitboxes.
You wonder why I hide
and
below
you hit me
here.
with this.
Because I can take out some shots, but... essentially, I also want to basically try to avoid the attacks as fast as I can. Come on. Come on, game. Do not cost me a game over here, please.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna get pretty close. But it looks like the hitbox of this form is just...
yeah.
like way larger than even the character sprite, which is not good.
Yeah. You can see why I'm just slowly avoiding things. Come on. Come on. Please be kind to me, game.
To get close.
Luckily, even without saving, the game you'll really only need that in case.
Oh,
It happens. It happens. Luckily, with the HD version, you can get right back into it. And the fact that you really only need to save if you turn off the game. But it happens. This is why I have the estimate the way it is. Come on, game. Didn't even notice I'd gotten rid of the second part of it. We grab that there. As close as I can to make sure I can fire the missiles and stay out of its line of fire. Make sure I can at least keep one of the enemies out there. There we go. Bursting Point is basically the mission where we just got back from Earth. Rick's friend Roy ended up sacrificing himself to make sure that we got home. No, on that one, no, don't need to upgrade. Whoops. That's menuing. There's menu boss on that one. Anyway, we're now into our second of the isometric levels, where we have to take out some enemy pods on that one. So we're going to go over here. I'll thank the game over just so that way I don't have to deal with this with only like 1 to 2 lives. Despite the time loss. 1, 2, 3. We'll head up this way. Around here, head up over here, because there's 4 of them this time, and we want to make sure that we don't have any of the enemies come close to us, but we can avoid taking damage. Pick this health up here. Fire this way, angle it perfectly so that I can get rid of both of those. 1, 2, like that. Because yes, they can still hit us even through their own ship.
Guess a lot.
Yeah, pretty much. And the devs wanted to try to add some hardship to it because the original game was on the GBA. Shoutouts to Axe.
I mean,
Okay, go ahead.
I'm one to speak about logic playing a series where the main character in the first game basically goes, felt cute, I'm gonna kill the angel of death twice.
I mean,
that's the lore of the first horror game, by the way. So I'm one to talk about logic.
I mean, there we go. Avoid that there. Fun fact, in the original game you got more experience for destroying these. Okay, I'll be kind and actually okay, if you're gonna kill me, then I'm just going to spam through that one and not get the extra health then. Oh, don't want that. We want the strength on that one because we still have some lives on that one. Shoutouts to Bursting Point, Force of Arms, where we essentially are fighting the Zentradian. Ooh, I have not told you yet. So, on the way back to Earth, they managed to get some of the Zentradi to join them. Because they wanted to sneak in and actually take care of, like sabotage and that stuff, where they learned about a certain thing called music. Because Macrross actually does have an idol known as Lin Min May. Fun fact, throughout most of the series, she and Rick actually fall in love. Now, they don't end up together, spoilers for a pretty old anime, but still. But they do represent this in Robotech to some degree. However, it is a lot more prevalent in the original Macrross. Fun fact, Nichole, you might appreciate this.
Ooh.
So, Minmay was actually one of the very first virtual idols to become popular mainstream-wise.
Oh. I do actually like that fact.
Yeah, not only did it help out with pioneering the transferring mech genre, but Macrross as a whole has had a thing for doing that quite a few times. With one of them, in one of the later series, I think it's either Plus or 7. Shoutouts to finally being able to see that in the US. Thanks, Harmony Gold, for complaining on that stuff. Harmony Gold being one of the people that did Robotech, and I'm not going to bring up that whole title on that one, but the thing is that they've actually been known for that, and one of the others actually was on the show an actual AI. As well, it became a virtual idol. So, yeah, Macrross has done a lot of things. And hopefully you all enjoy the music number. As I said, that some of the things for it managed to actually get some of the Zentradi once they realized things like music were that one they had a power struggle over whether or not they should actually keep fighting for things, and you had one side that was like, yes, war still only way. Others like, there's things like music. We like this. Maybe war's not the only way. So some of them are helping us, some of them are not, and we're trying to right now defend the Earth from them trying to shoot massive lasers at it. Because, of course. Hopefully you're all enjoying the music here, which is, I believe, the Robotech version of the song of that one. That was to its original Japanese.
What is up with shmups always having, usually having the greatest music, themes to exist?
I think it's they need to get people to play the game anyway because, bullet hell. I mean, didn't you want?
I mean, yeah. If you're gonna be dying a million times, you might as well jam it out to some good tunes.
I mean, didn't you also say that the creator of Toho writes the actual music to the game?
Oh yes. Yep. This game, I don't think they wrote the music for the game, but because I think they just used the anime music.
Yes,
for this.
they used some of it. Shoutouts to also the GBA version. Actually considered horrible. Which is why the speedrun 4 can end the game with one of the with Max, another fan favorite character from the show, with 9 lives, and he is the character that has the least amount of health. Because screen real estate matters, and I want to avoid that as much as I can. Oh well, take it on that one. Get the actual missiles here, because unlike the other missile thing, which turns your missiles into bombs, which aren't that helpful. The giant missiles are. Anyway, we need to go inside this giant asteroid-shaped ship to actually blow it up. This show's version of the Death Star, in a sense. So what's Chad thinking of the run so far?
Chat seems to have a lot of time with a lot of good time with it. Words are hard. Chat is having a good time with it. There we go.
Hey. But, fun fact. One of the interesting ways in which Macrross and Robotech actually combining, as I said, 3 separate animes, although Super Dimension, Hyper Cavalry, Southern Cross, although having the SD piece in it was not related to Macrross, but I like to think of it as this is what would have happened if they actually were related, since they shared the same part of the title. But no, it's actually thanks to Max that they're able to do that. I want to sneak down here quick, because there's usually a turret there that will spawn that is a pain in the arse, because it essentially is a, giant, got 7 or 8 different shots around it just off of it. Myself there just so I can avoid that one there. Take that there, try not to bunk on the ceiling. But as I said, close to that one, I'll take the death and then use my iframes to clear out the screen. Because hey, iframes! And you see me pick up the bomb here, that's by accident, so I'm just going to waste this as fast as I can. And you see why I destroyed the one turret where I could earlier. Fun fact. The walls there are not solid in the HD version. In the original, they are.
Oh no, are they actually a thing in the GBA
Yeah,
version?
these walls here, down here, you can get hit. They're solid. GBA version, I can fire through them and actually make it a bit easier. And pick up some extra score. Well, I shouldn't say score, I should say EXP, but at this point, I've got enough, EXP, and I'm almost maxed out entirely on that one. So it really does not matter as much. Except for lives, and in which case, lives. So we're gonna go around here, that there, sneak down low, so I can avoid some of the fire. On that one. Sneak down low here. Everywhere. Avoid those fires like that. As I said, the game is actually pretty forgiving, and I do highly recommend it, checking it out for those fans that kind of want to try it out. I mean, it's on eShop for $10? It can be a little bit hard to some degree, but it's also, once you learn it, it can be quite fun. And I'll take the off there. But this is probably the only stage you will see me not fly up all the way, because it's hard to tell exactly where that ceiling ends. Yeah, okay, I found the actual spot. Remember, that one is not transparent on that one, so I'll take the, I guess I'll skip the upgrade on that one, go here. And we're on to the second to the last stage now. which is essentially also the name of the last episode of the anime. Well, the last episode of the anime, Macrross. Hold on a minute. I want to take those out quick. By doing that there, you'll see me sometimes actually use the extra speed from the fighter to get to enemies faster if I am taking them out with my ship in order to be able to, well, clear the screen out. I'll fly down low like that there and avoid some of the stuff there. As I said, historically, the anime has done a lot, and I still have to thank Cartoon Network's old Toonami for showing this, even though it was one of the first actual shows to go off of it. But even still, it got me intrigued and got me, really wanting to check out, mech stuff. Shout out to the old school actual anime and stuff people, that got people interested in stuff like that. And since I did take a death, I can do this. Because easy screen clearing.
Post-death iframes are really cool. Because it just lets you chill for a second.
I mean, to be fair, I also get actual EXP for it.
That's true, yeah.
Could you imagine an actual Toho game actually giving you the ability to do that, to clear a screen?
I mean, we have bombs in Toho.
Oh, I know that, but I'm saying being able to actually just...
Yeah. Except I'm not using them.
I get you there.
I play survival without bombs.
I get you there. I'm just saying, could you imagine if they actually gave players the ability to do that, to get rid of a lot of the, for like some of the enemy, for some of the entire bullet hell sections? Okay, just fly up, get rid of everybody, and then just basically go back.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a positive thing on that one. And
Thank you,
since I have the missiles here, I can use that there to help with things. I do highly recommend checking out the game. It is very fun, and to be honest, I'm also one of the only people that runs the game, at least the HD version. But I did also, to call it rooting a game, if you're basically the person that created the first few speedruns for it. Because I tend to actually do that for some games I find interesting, and in fact, this is just one of them. And I am ecstatic that I'm getting to show this off on a large stage here. But anyway, we're going to fly a bit around here so we can not only avoid some fire, but also get rid of some of the enemies. I'm gonna fly down low, fly around that one. We have the heck out of one of the actual weapons that will lag the game like no end on the HD or the original version. Fly down low here.
Speaking of showing this at a big stage, did you submit this to GDQ?
Yes, I did.
Ooh, well, Nichole at the end of his run will be talking about it. I think today is the day about that.
Probably later,
if I'm not mistaken.
probably later in the day, but
Yeah.
here's hoping.
Probably,
I mean, it
it's
is a
definitely
very fun game
13th.
to watch. And I know a lot of people do have memories of the anime because, anime and Robotech itself on that one. That was one of the other games I actually reviewed with Robotech Battle Cry. A game that I love to speedrun, but always have problems with whenever I show it off in a marathon. And this section is bullet hell. This is the bullet hell section of the game. So you will see me basically waste lives at no one's business to... I mean, iframes are a thing. And when you can actually use it to stay alive, while at the same point getting screen clearing an entire screen, I think it's worth the trade-off on that one.
And the thing about shmups that you have to realize is that whenever you're watching a shmup, it doesn't matter. There's always the rule, and there's always like one player that's better.
That is true.
And it doesn't matter how good you are. There's probably a player who has perfected this entire game. Probably. Who knows?
I haven't really seen anybody speedrun-wise. However, I only hold second place for the OG version of the game. And hold on a minute, because I gotta avoid a lot of this. Okay, good. I'm going to play it safe and get the first health refill here, as we're on the final boss. Story-wise, some some of the Zentradi have, decided to help restore the Earth on that one. Some haven't, which is yada yada yada. But essentially, a fun fact: the boss on the outside here does not have a hitbox. In the original version, it does. So let's go down here. Avoid these missiles here, because they one-shot me, and that's annoying. Please don't game over again. I'm gonna be annoyed. There's that there. There's that there. There's that there. Avoid the giant laser. Avoid that there. Avoid that there. Avoid that there. Avoid that there. Try not to hit that there. Avoid that there. Avoid the giant laser again. Die.
Marisa did it better than me.
Hold on. Don't die. Time is coming up. And hold on a minute. Time.
Yeah,
Yes.
GG.
Thank you. What was my time?
35 something, 35.5 I think, or 36. I'm just simulating up right now. It was a 35.57.
Nice. Close to my PB on that one, off by a minute on that one, but overall solid game and solid run. And this, I highly do recommend checking out all the animes I mentioned on that one. Robotech in and of itself, Super Dimensional Fortress Macrross, Super Dimensional Fortress Hyper Cavalry Southern Cross if you can find it, and Genesis Chamber. There are 3 very good shows, but highly recommend Macrross to a lot of people. It's an oldie, but it's still a classic, and it's still relevant to this day and age. And I think its latest actually does have games on the PS4, if I recall correctly, and it is still such a good show. Again, it has just done a lot for the industry. I recommend looking up a lot of the other stuff, and I know I'm right now rambling on and on and on. So,
No, you're fine. That was a really fun, and it was the game is very pretty too. Like, it looks very fluid and nice. But thank you so much for showing it off.
If you see the original, it's like, whenever I submit both the original and the HD version hands down almost always is chosen. It looks that bad for the GBA version. Fun fact, this technically is an indie game, too.
Really?
Yep.
Lots of shmups are. Toho, for example, the game I play is literally a one-person project.
Yeah, but everybody loves Toho.
Hey, this game's super cool.
This game is a fun thing to do, and heck, it even has local co-op. And yes, that breaks the game to some degree.
Anyway, is it cool if I do my shoutouts before yours, or do you want to do yours first?
Go ahead, George.
I wanna thank Richard for actually letting me shout out this on stream. I wanna shout out a marathon / community I've been involved with recently that Mages is actually also a part of this coming November. There is an event called Speedrunners where you submit and you don't actually run what you submit. You get a game from someone else to learn over 90 days. And there's an event coming up in November. I'm not gonna link the schedule because I believe of GDQ vetting policies, but you can look it up. Lots of cool stuff happening, and Mages is gonna be running Spyro at it. I got it from Bender's.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to get a guide to Spyro Reignited Trilogy on that one.
You got it. Yeah, but very cool concept. That's gonna be happening in November, and I also want to give a shout out since we are on, since we're showcasing Shmup, I want to give a big shout out to the Toho Replay Showcase community. They do weekly streams, so they just show replays every week, and just people submit their replays. They show them every week, and it's a super cool community. Tons of Toho players and tons of high-level Toho players. So if you want to get into shmups, and you want to get into a big community, Toho is definitely a good bet. But if you want to learn a small community, you want to learn, I guess, what would be the word? Hands-on with one or two other people in a small community, then I have a game for you, and it's called Macrross. And I believe I know a runner somewhere in this call. I don't know. You want to speak up?
Yes. First off, I'd also like to shout out, I promised Tempest Mask 1000, I'd shout out the original voice actor, Tony Oliver, for Rick, because of all the hard work he has done on that one. Tempest was supposed to be here with us on that one, but has to do something with his family, and of course, take care of your family on that one. But I guess I'll also shout out, I guess they will be shouting out one of the things I also help with, which is License-a-thon. Please don't get mad at me on that one. You've legitimately allowed Rosentia and Tempestral to shout it out before, and I'm one of the people that helps with that. So it's Tempest. But essentially,
so many good events.
It legitimately is. If you like a lot of the stuff you see here, there's an entire marathon for stuff like that as well. And I highly recommend looking that up. And hey, who knows? You might be able to submit stuff to Nichole here, and she might actually have you on as well.
Hi, that's me.
I mean...
And speaking of Nichole, I think you got some announcements for us as we close this out.
I do. Thank you both again for joining me tonight. That was a really, really fun run. It was really nice to see that game, so thank you so much for joining As Seen on TV. Chat, hang in there. We've got to go to a quick break, but we will be back soon. Stand up, get some water, take a little break for yourselves. I will see you soon. Welcome on back to As Seen on TV on twitch.tv/gamesdonequick. I hope you had a nice little break. We are back with more shows from, whenever it was, whether you were a kid, whether you were an adult, but this is going to be Nicktoons, and I'm very excited for this. So as you know, As Seen on TV showcases runs based off of your favorite shows, and this actually is going to showcase maybe a couple different shows and reference a couple different shows that you might find familiar. So I'm very excited for it. You're very excited for it. So let's go on over to Crow with Nicktoons Attack of the Toybots.
Thank you very much, Nichole. Hello everybody, my name is Crow3893 and this is Nicktoons Attack of the Toybots. So, maybe you've played this game, maybe you've heard of it, maybe you've heard of the other ones in this series, that being the Nicktoons Unite series. So, this one is the third one in that series, released in 2007 for the PlayStation 2 and Nintendo Wii. The main story about this game has to involve with the main villain of the Jimmy Neutron series, Professor Calamitous, off to be titled the Biggest Genius. But he's doing this by using Krabby Patties, fairies, and ghost energy. This, however, affects the heroes, the Nicktoons heroes, and now we're currently trying to stop him. But not only that, we also have a second plot which has to involve with what else we're going to be doing in the story. But I might as well not continue explaining, but I'm just going and show it to you guys. Now, I will say I'm playing on the Wii version of this game, and the only downside of it compared to PS2 is that autosaving is locked. So there's going to be a bit of a delay before time starts. So time actually starts on the first loading screen, but there's going to be a 17-second loading. So I will just give the countdown from when we are good to go. So here we go. Just going to get going. But in the meantime, I suggest you guys all sit back, relax, and enjoy some really great Nicktoons gaming. Alrighty, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go!
Woo!
Alrighty, so we're going to be starting off to the first level, which is Bikini Bottom, but it's not like your average Bikini Bottom in the normal SpongeBob series. So the cutscene that I just skipped right there, SpongeBob and Patrick were actually delivering exactly 3,287 Krabby Patties inside of this factory. The problem with this, however, the robots in this factory ended up stealing all of them, and Patrick and SpongeBob were trying to stop them, but the issue was that the robots ended up kidnapping Patrick, and the only way SpongeBob was able to enter in this factory was as a robot, as you see right here. So now we're currently inside this factory, and we see Patrick all around, but we're going to go to the end of the level to meet up with him. And right off the bat, you're actually seeing me doing this very first speed tech that I'm going to be doing throughout the whole run, and this is called a roll cancel. So it's this really long jump that I'm doing after I'm off like a corner of a platform or anything. So the way this works is every time, so like the game has a like final set value for the horizontal movement, and it can be stored into jumps, and it's very useful for roll cancel because rolling speed is actually double your walking speed. So being able to do roll cancel is able to make you go twice as far in a quick amount of time. But real quick, just want to show off this funny little thing. So here's a little fun fact about Nicktoons. You can actually T-pose in this game.
Oh my god.
And I'm gonna go for throw clip. Okay, I didn't get the throw clip. So what I tried going was a clip where, so normally what's actually unknown is that never in the manual in the PS2 or Wii version of this game is grabbing ever mentioned. And apparently if you actually jump, it's buggy to the point where you can actually T-pose. But it's also pretty strange because you can actually get knocked backwards a bit. And if I actually did the clip, I would have ended up going past the invisible wall and would have like skipped the fight phase, but that's okay. It was still okay to still show off the rest of the game. So that cutscene, the two cutscenes I just skipped right there, we ended up saving Patrick, but we also met up with two other Nicktoons characters, those being Tack of the Poopanunu People and Timmy Turner. Now we're currently entering inside the evil Toyco Factory Zone 1, because Tack mentioned that there are other heroes nearby. They're just trapped somewhere. So we're going to go look for them. But in the meantime, just going to be rolling around, and SpongeBob, as you can see right here, is going to be zooming into this factory. And I'm going to jump on this little barrel right here to prevent that factory bot from getting close to me. And right here, going to go for a little jump boost. Nice. Going to go for a cutscene skip. Nice. That was really good. So movement is kind of like one of the main things with this game, where like we try and make sure to go past certain cycles or being able to skip certain platforms or abilities because there are some combat sections. And right here actually comes the first biggest glitch in this game. So SpongeBob not only has Toon Force, and he can actually float in the air on some invisible platforms. Oh, I messed it up. All right. I went too far. Let's try and back this up. Yeah, so apparently there's a giant invisible platform over here, and what I'm actually doing is that I'm tricking the game into thinking I'm in the previous section, which causes some of the later elements to deload as well as their collision. And okay, I had to play it safe there. The stun bunny almost got me. So there's only supposed to be a pipe over here, but because its collision is actually gone, its trigger is still intact. So I was able to hit it, and now I'm entering inside the master model of Gur. And of course, a spoiler warning, my apologies, but Gur is playable in this game. And yeah, very old Nicktoons characters are playable in this game. So some of them ranging from the 2000s, like some of the mid 2000s, like with Gur, for example, but also some of them from the late 90s, even when Nicktoons, when Nickelodeon first started. And I'll explain that more later. But in the meantime, we're just going to be roaming around in this level. Now, this level is intended to be playable way later in the story, because if you have to get Gur, you have to unlock him by unlocking another character, but getting another character, and you don't get that character until halfway into the game. But we decided to just say, forget the rules, we're going to go through everything, and we're just going to be speedrunning all of it. And now we're going to be inside of another Invader Zim reference, this being the Master Model Chamber. So the Master Models in this game are actually the main requirements that we have to collect. So we have to collect 9 in order to beat the game out of the 19. And they're basically of other Nicktoons characters, and it's really nice. So there's a combat section. Some of them have different enemies. So in this one, you actually saw that I was going against the enemies called blocks, and they are a nightmare to deal with. They deal the most damage. They can sometimes stun lock you, and they take a bit of a pain. The other issue is also trying to like manipulate them to make sure that they either be next to a corner or falling to their death, which is actually going to be saving a little bit of time. So now that I collected the first master model, I'm just going to continue roaming around here, and we're just going to be going to the end of the factory. Now, I will mention this, even though only 9 of them are required, there are certain ones that we're going to be collecting and other ones that we are not, because some master model levels are actually longer, some of them having different designs entirely, which we will see later on. But in the meantime, it's going to be roaming around, and right here, so all this part right here is pretty much showing how much roll cancel is able to just skip. So like those wheels that I skipped earlier, there's normally supposed to be 2 combat phases that you're supposed to do in each of them, but roll canceling was able to skip all of it. And then right here comes a new skip. So there's apparently a giant, there's like an invisible platform right behind where you enter, and you can easily just hit the trigger for Jenny's master model. Yes, Jenny is another unlockable character in this game. it's really great to just see how much like they were able to put in like references of which characters can be played, as well as just being able to like play as them for the nostalgia, which is really great. And as mentioned as well, even though Gur as well cannot be played until way later, it's the same for Jenny as well. So Jenny is not unlocked until later. We will actually see her soon in this run, which will be very great. Now, right here, we're going to be back inside of the Master Model Chamber, dealing with the blocks because they are a nightmare to deal with. I never really thought that I would ever be destroying one of my childhood favorite toys. It just feels disappointing. But at the same time, feels kind of great considering the amount of times that I've had to deal with these things casually in attempts as well. See if I can get good spots. Okay, you're gonna have to. Okay, good. That was a good one. So each master model is of certain Nicktoons characters. So the first one was actually of Tuesday X from the X's. This one is Mr. Blick from Cat Scratch. So little fun references right there. And I'm also doing an animation skip. So every time I collect the master model, you're normally supposed to go in the pipe and it actually sucks you up. But if you go off to the side of it, you can just hit the trigger and you're able to just skip like 2 seconds. It's not really worth it, but I like to go for it for the fun of it. So we're just gonna roam around here, and we're not gonna be collecting any more master models in this part of the factory. So I mentioned how we're currently in Evil Toy Co. Factory Zone 1, so there's actually 3 of them. But a little thing to know about all 3 is that they each have 2 parts. So we're currently in Factory Zone 1 Part 1. And soon we're going to be entering into Factory Zone 1 Part 2, which is when the real magic happens for this category. Also, right here, you can see SpongeBob's master model over there. We're actually not going to collect it because SpongeBob's master model level is a lot slower than the other ones. And then I'm going to go for a little joke right here. So this is normally where you're supposed to hit the trigger by going up this pipe, but you can do this. You can just jump, and then you can easily hit the trigger. It's pretty funny. You gotta love invisible platforms.
Oh, yeah.
So now we're going to be entering into Factory Zone 1 Part 2, but real quick, we're actually going to meet up with another Nicktoons character. But who may it be? It's Johnny Quasar. So now we're just going to be roaming around here, currently inside a more mechanical theme of this factory. Going to be jumping right here to save some time on some excess movement, do a roll cancel, there we go. And then dealing with more blocks, but thankfully because this is not a beat 'em up, we don't have to deal with them, and then I can just progress onwards. So right here is going to come up is a pretty interesting skip. So I'm just going to try and focus on this real quick. Got it. Okay, so that master model was supposed to be for Patrick's, but what I just did was a trick called ACS. So it's short for any character skip, and the reason it's called that is because this form of a master model skip is actually possible on several of the master models. Some of them cannot do this, like with Gurs and Jenny, so they have alternative skips. But Patrick's is one of the examples because, so I mentioned earlier about how like speed can be stored into jumps. This is actually with the wind because every time you go up a master model pipe that is not the required character, you get a little bit of a wind boost, and by jumping, the wind boost actually gets stored into it as well. So you go up a little bit more higher, and you go barely past a thin invisible wall. And if you jump because you're barely in the air, you're able to just jump and hit the trigger. And it works for some master models, but some of them do not work. But it's all right because it's really nice to just show it off. That was a trick a little fun fact about that trick. I had it was a trick that I theorized one day, and then I just opened up the game and tried it out. And when it actually worked, I was like losing my mind from it. It was pretty fun. It's not gonna be the only big trick we're gonna be seeing soon. Nice combat. That was very good. It's usually best to try and lure all the enemies closer to you because you're actually going to want to try and like shoot all of them. But the issue with this game is actually with the goo missiles. So sometimes the auto targeting with it is really not that good. I also just collected the master model of Aang from Avatar, and I also switched to Tak because we're actually going to be entering into Tak's master model level. But real quick, we're just going to be dealing with some more parts of this level, and you're going to have to be careful with these spikes. Nice. Another quick thing I want to mention is these blue cubes that you've been seeing. So these are actually called circuits, and they're basically the currency, and it's kind of useful because it's going to help us get an upgrade later on in the run. But real quick, let's go ahead and enter into Tak's master model level, and let's enjoy some jungle gymnastics. But real quick, here's the cutoff. I call upon. He calls upon. It's a funny thing. Many of the cutscenes that can be skipped have some funny dialogue cutoffs. It's pretty funny. The community likes to joke about it. All right, here comes the skip. So this skip, not only does it save time on some movement with some excess climbing, this also is going to result in a pretty big difference that's going to result with this level. So you can see it's all perfectly fine, but when we go up here, what the heck happened? Well, everything deloaded, and with this, I could just fall out and I'm going to go out of bounds. It's really easy. It's really fun as well. Real quick, I'm going to explain more about out of bounds. Oh, random circuit. There we go. All right, I gotta focus on this part real quick to make sure not to die, because if I do, that'll be a bit unfortunate. Nice. Okay, so what I just did right there, going out of bounds, what's pretty much happening is that I ended up falling, and when I hit a certain value limit, the game rats me back up at a certain value height. And the advantage of this is that I have full control all over it, as well as my jumps. So you basically fall infinitely. And I am falling infinitely to the point where I'm going to be skipping quite a lot in this game. And if you're curious how much, and you're wondering where the heck am I, I'm actually in the Master Model level of tax for Factory Zone 3. So, little interesting thing about this, we found out that Tack, SpongeBob, and Danny's Master Model levels are all connected in the same level-like area. And we found out that by doing some maneuvering out of bounds, we're able to just land into the Zone 3 one for Tack, which is very useful. It's because at first, the deloading thing was discovered by accident, but then later we were able to use it by going out of bounds. And it may seem difficult, but with the timing of the background, because it switches from an image to a singular color and then back to the image, that's actually our visual cues for our movement. And it's very easy. And I mentioned how this skips quite a bit of the game because we go from Factory Zone 1 to Factory Zone 3. But to give more of an example of how much this basically skips, it saves almost 20 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. And it was such a it's a great skip because even though like we only have to collect 9 of the master models, we have to deal with some excess platforming as well as like one specific level called Factory Zone 3 Part 1. We actually don't collect any of the master model levels, the master models. So that's one of the advantages of just skipping it, because that's like 7 whole minutes of just trying to maneuver and beating the game pretty quickly for that level. I'm going to play it safe and just wait for this cycle. I was trying to go for the fast cycle, but I messed it up. Ah, gosh darn it. Okay. 3rd time's a charm, hopefully. Oh, man. Okay. All right, I'll go for it. I'm going to risk it. Nice, I got it. That's cool. So we're just gonna progress onwards. Now we're basically tricking the game into thinking that we're finished with the master model level for Factory Zone 3, but it still hasn't recognized that we're finished with Factory Zone 1, and that is gonna result in some backtracking, but it's gonna be okay because it's gonna be pretty quick. Well, for the certain segments. And hey, look, it's XJ9. She is unlockable. Now, something to mention with the characters that are unlockable. So when they have the master models, they actually have their 3D models compared to the normal JPEG that you would see for other master models that you would collect. Real quick, we're gonna go for a cool little animation skip. So when characters are in an animation, if you actually just make sure they're off screen, they just disappear, and it saves about like 2 to 3 seconds, which is pretty cool. And it's pretty easy to do. It's just always random, but it's just making sure that they're off screen. And as you can see right here, we're no longer in Factory Zone 1, but we're now in Factory Zone 3. Not only in Factory Zone 3, but Factory Zone 3 Part 2. And in the second half of it, so we just skipped like quite a lot of the game just because of this. And this is more of a space theme. Now, we're going to be continuing for 2 reasons. The first reason is because we have no way to teleport into the main hub world, which is the basement, because the only way to activate it is to actually either complete the level, but you normally get it when you're finished with Factory Zone 1, which we haven't done, but which we're actually not going to be doing entirely. But the other reason is because we're going to be collecting one other master model here, which is the second shortest one in the entire game. Real quick, we're just going to be dealing with some generators. Quick little reminder, this is not going to be the last time we'll be seeing generators, because we're going to be seeing them quite a bit. All right, let's see. There we go. So some of them usually take a lot of hits to defeat, and then as well as like some of them requiring some melee hits. And then right here, we're gonna be chased by a UFO. We have to make sure that they don't get us. And an advantage with this game is that you actually have infinite lives. So even if you mess up constantly, you basically can continue trying and trying again without any of the hassles of running out of lives, which unfortunately, the first game in the series does not have because it's Nicktoons Unite and it's a beat 'em up. Thank you, Blue Tongue Entertainment, the developers for this game. Alrighty, gonna go from here, and then this platform is actually gonna fall down, but I'm gonna jump on this trampoline one. And then right here, I'm gonna do another form of a skip. So you can see that this model right here, I can actually land on it, and by jumping, the trigger is outside of it, and I'm able to just enter into Samantha Manson's master model level much quickly. And then some of these floorings, the teal ones, actually fall down after a couple of seconds, and they can be a bit of a pain, especially in the Factory Zone 3, because that's where they are. But we don't have to deal with all of it, thankfully. And that was one of the shortest master model levels, but it's not the shortest, but we will encounter that one later on. Real quick, we're going to be back inside the Master Model Chamber, and here we're going to be seeing different enemies, just like we did in Tax. So these enemies are the Mr. Huggles. They're supposed to be cute little teddy bears, but some of them have projectiles, some of them have hammers, and they really are not friendly, even with their box as well. So here's a very strange thing. So their boxes, the back of them actually have a very dark meaning to where they would go out and attack anybody who would really disobey them. And it's really like, wow, they actually left that in a Nicktoons game. We're progressing onwards. Hey, look, more generators. Alrighty, I'm gonna be careful right here. So I know I'm rolling most of the time, but I'm actually gonna do a jump there because if I don't, I would probably randomly hit the trigger for the piece that was actually moving and was about to be below because its model was just messed up. I also did a checkpoint exploit to avoid 2 fight phases, just like in some of the parts in Factory Zone 1, saving about an extra 15 seconds. And okay, this is actually a bit scary. All right, that was close. That was so close. That's never happened. I was so scared. All right, so now we get to meet up with the UFOs, and we get to have our revenge after they tried to eliminate us with a laser, so we get to shoot goo at them. And here's more things with the Invader Zim fun facts. So here's a little thing to know, that the people who are actually controlling these spaceships are actually Urkins. The Urkin Armada is controlling these spaceships. Why they're teaming up with Professor Calamitous? We'll never know. But theoretically, we probably did not. Sim's probably safe. He's a good guy. Well, actually, is he? Save it for later.
We'll put a pin in that.
Yeah, that's your question of the day, folks. Is Zim actually a good guy? In the meantime, we're going to be collecting the master model of Timmy's for Factory Zone 1. So this is actually the later part we skipped. So this is actually after Tax Master Model level. And we're just going to be progressing onwards because thankfully with this game, you actually get checkpoints for each of the master models, saving more time without having to deal with some excess movement and combat, which is very, very thankful. And again, thank you again, Blue Tongue, for this feature. And real quick, going to go for a little trick here. If I can get, okay, good manipulation. Nice. Okay, here we go. Nice, got it. So that trick I just did is called box top, and so the way it works is you can actually jump on top of a character's head. So you can jump on the top of your ally's head, and you'll get both your double jumps back as well as the slight extended height. So what I did right there was actually land on top of the ferry gas chamber, and by doing that, I was able to do a roll cancel and barely hit a tiny little platform that put me to the end of the level, and it actually skips a little jumping segment, which is pretty slow. And if you're not careful, you can actually get hit by some of the platforms that actually go down and hit you. There we go. Nice. That was a pretty good segment as well. We also collected the master model of Angelica Pickles, one of the oldest Nicktoons characters. Real quick, gonna go ahead and do this. So what I just did right there is I entered in the character select screen of Amity Park. So Amity Park is a level that we just skipped. But the reason I entered in the character selection was actually to unlock 2 characters, those being Danny Phantom and Samantha Manson. Now, that was not the only reason I had to enter in that character select screen for it. The other reason is because if I actually didn't, and if I tried entering the last level, the game would actually crash. So we were unfortunate when we found out that it actually happened, but when we found out that it can be possible by just entering the character select screen, it really helped us. So it was very helpful for this part. And right here, going to be into Factory Zone 2. So this is actually what we skipped with the tack warp. And right here, going to be dealing with combat phase. So this one is more like a race car type of level, and it's pretty nice. And there's actually a little enemy right there called a wheelie, and it has 2 different designs, and we'll be seeing the second one later. Well, actually, I think, yeah, we will be seeing the other one later. Also, this is actually the shortest master model level in the whole game, so feel free to enjoy the next 4 seconds of it. I hope you didn't blink. That was pretty fast. Back again in another master model chamber. So this is basically like the backtracking point of the any %, but it's all fine because it's pretty quick. It's not as difficult as it may seem, or as boring, or as like tough as it may like be possible to do. But it's not that difficult. The only bad part is really just having to deal with the enemy RNG for the master model chambers. And oh, I think the Mr. Huggles just exploded with the other one. That was pretty good. And I'm gonna make sure it's off screen. There we go. And would you look at that? It's a master model of Cat Dog.
Oh my god. I remember Cat Dog.
It's a great show. I guess I should also mention the other character who's also unlocked, that is another old character in the Nicktoons franchise. So that character is actually Stimpson J. Cat, otherwise known as Stimpy from Ren and Stimpy. He is playable in this game. I really like it. So right here, we're actually be collecting the master model for Jimmy, but we actually skipped Jimmy. So after I collected Timmy's master model in Factory Zone 1, normally you're supposed to complete it to actually hit the cutscene, because that's how you unlock Jimmy. But we actually avoided it, and here's the pretty cool thing is that we're actually going to do his level without him, but it's not like doing it like the any character skip method like it was with Patrick. So the way this is actually going to involve with us another form of out of bounds, like barely going past the kill plane and being able to land at the end of the level by going out of bounds and doing some goose stalling. All right, I'm going to focus real quick. Got it. Let's go. That was so close.
Oh yeah.
And then here you can just hit the trigger, and there we go. So this out of bounds skip actually saves almost 40 seconds, which is very useful. It's just really strange because Jimmy's not required at all, because Jimmy's actually playable in the final level, but when you actually don't unlock him, the game doesn't crash, but it only happens when you don't enter the character selection screen for Amity Park. So it's pretty strange, but at the same time, it's still helpful for us speedrunners because we're able to still save a bunch of time from it. Although the trick itself is a bit tough because you have to be at a precise spot to go out of bounds. And if you're too far up, you actually go into the pipe that was very close to where I fell out of bounds. And it would have resulted in some time loss for the little auto-scrolling segment. So that's actually the 8th master model. We're going to be collecting the final one, which is another one of Timmy's. So as mentioned, like Tack, SpongeBob, and Danny, each of them have a master model in each of the factory zones. Some characters as well have like more than one in each of them. So like Sam as well. Sam had 2 of them. Timmy also has 2, and I believe that's it. But in the meantime, we're going to be collecting the final one. Okay, I got the SpongeBob spawn. It's supposed to be Timmy. And here's a little cool thing. Cosmo is a hammer in this game. Gonna be careful right here. Alrighty. Gonna be collecting the final master model of Timmy Turner. And this is actually requiring with some of the platforms that actually fall. But I'm gonna do a little depth warp to make sure that it actually cancels out the animations quicker, because their models are sometimes messed up with it. I'm gonna try and focus right here to get these jumps. All right, that was the tough one because that one required a little bit of a timing. And there we go. That is the end of Timmy's master model. So right here comes the chamber, and this is actually going to be a little bit of an instance of RNG. So I'm gonna have to actually pay attention real quick because it can actually drop 2 different enemies on the corner I'm going to land in. Okay, I got the good RNG. So you can see right here, this is currently the wheelies. So there's 2 different types of them, the firefighter ones and the bulldozers. So the bulldozers actually charge towards you, but the firefighters actually shoot projectiles. Also, that was a really fast segment. Wow, that was really quick. Now, the RNG is actually because you can actually encounter the first one that will be next to you will be either the firefighter or the bulldozer. And if the firefighter is close to you, then the bulldozer one is going to automatically charge at you. And you can sometimes be launched up in the air, losing a lot of time. I'm going to go for a cool little trick here. I'm going to try and see if I can get the costume for SpongeBob, because there's actually a glitch where you can actually unlock a costume. But you don't technically unlock it, but it's still really nice to get. So now that we collect all the master models, we're going to be progressing onwards. Oh, I got the costume. Let's go. That's really nice. SpongeGar. So now we're currently in Fairy World, and we're going to be a fairy and go out of bounds and fly to the end. Now, this out of bounds is not really the most interesting one, besides the fact that we skipped the end, but it's also because it's pretty long and there's not really much else to do. So Nichole, if there's actually anything that we can like mention here, or if anyone in chat has any questions, this is actually a good time because we're gonna be here for another minute and a half.
This is our home now.
Actually,
this is our land now.
Yes. Well, actually, correction, 2.5 minutes. My apologies, 2.5 minutes. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask now. But if there's anything to plug in right now, this is actually a good opportunity.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't have much to plug right now. But chat's loving the game. First of all, I'm loving the game.
Oh.
Second of all, this is a lot of fun. This looks like it's a really, really fun game to play. What got you into how did you find this? What?
Oh, this is actually a good
Tell me
one.
the lore.
Of course. So this is actually, I first started playing this game when I was 4 years old on my PS2, and I made a lot of memories with it, with like certain like character, being able to play specific characters in some levels, being able to play with family and friends. It was just so much fun. I didn't get to play this game again until 2020, and this was around the time when I barely started speedrunning, and I got so into the game, I was really enjoying it. And I did used to see some speedruns of it during summer of 2020, and I started running in fall, and over time, I started playing a lot more and getting more consistent with it. And by then, I was able to just be able to get some really good times, and eventually ended up getting the world record for quite a bit. And just wanted to also help out throughout the year 2021 to find many of the skips. So the Any Character skip was actually one of the first skips that I found, and I was just very happy about it. I also accidentally discovered about the grabbing technique where you can actually T-pose, which is pretty hilarious. Oh, real quick, I actually want to do a little timing with the background music. So pay attention to SpongeBob's health icon. I always like to time it with the background music of that part because it's really nice. That's not actually the only time I'm going to mention about the music. I'll actually mention it in the final level because there is a pretty little interesting fun fact about the music with this game. All right, but real quick, this is the last out of bounds, so I'm gonna get ready because right here comes the end. So I'm gonna have to focus real quick. At least you get to listen to some nice, calm fairy world music. All right, here we go. Okay, so what I did right there is I positioned myself towards the right platforms because the end of the level is actually on the right side. And by holding up, I should hit the trigger that ends the level. I also want to give a little bit of an explanation about this trick. So this out of bounds, it saves almost like a whole minute compared to playing this game, compared to being the level casually. So it's really easy as well to do. It's really nice. And there we go. And then we met up with Professor Calamitous. I like to think, but we cut him off because he has nobody else to thank. Nobody but himself. That's actually what he says. And now we're going to be entering the final level, which is Professor Calamitous' lair. Now, this level is going to be different compared to the other ones we were in. So we were in more like platforming levels because this is an action adventure platformer. This one is more like a shooting type of level, not a first person, but more of just like a one to just look all around. And right here, we're inside of a mech suit. So this is actually what we're going to be using to destroy many more generators. I wasn't lying when I said that this is not the only time we were seeing generators in the run. So right here, and now what I'm also doing is that I'm actually shooting some goo missiles. So so what you're seeing right here in SpongeBob is shooting out is normal goo. But if I actually press the Z button, I actually shoot out some goo missiles. And I also bought an upgrade of SpongeBob's mech suit. So the advantage of this upgrade is that it actually gives him much more missiles. But when you actually hold down the missile button, it shoots out a lot of them, which is very useful and it's going to be pretty funny. Now right here, I'm just going to go ahead and just beat this part. Now, I will say this level does have an out of bounds, but because of marathon safety, and it's just really difficult to pull off considering how late it is on the run, I'm not going to do it. It saves 40 seconds, but requires a pause buffer and precise out of bounds movement, and messing it up loses almost 2 minutes, so I just don't want to end up wasting the time because I want you guys to see this glorious level, because as buggy as it may seem, it still looks really great in my opinion.
The whole game has looked really cool.
Yeah, it looks great. They actually use the same engine that they made for Battle for Volcano Island and Nicktoons Unite. It's just because this is actually the first one in the series that actually released on the Wii. And not only that, this is actually the only one in the Nicktoons Unite series to have a Japanese release. Alrighty, you're gonna see right here. Nice, okay, I got good RNG. So, you're actually seeing me collecting these specific, those weird cube rectangular things that I'm picking up after I'm destroying these robots. So these are called Big Tin robots, and they drop missile ammo, and they can drop either 1, 2, or 3 of them, which is all dependent on RNG. So if I'm lucky and I get mostly at least 2 or 3, then that's very good. I don't know if I got 3 because sometimes the first one actually gives you a lot of them. And right here, gonna use the advantage of the widescreen and being able to just destroy that generator from all the way over here, saving some time on movement. Gotta love it when there's some aspect ratio advantages with games. Now, one thing to do mention is that this level has several auto-scrolling parts for like 20 seconds. It's not really that good, but at the same time, it's still kind of enjoyable because you get to destroy all these little enemy tanks as well as these lasers from hitting you. And you have to actually be very careful not to fall off, because if you actually fall off in this game, you will be checkpointed sometimes way farther off into the level, or like way earlier in the level. So there's not as many checkpoints as there would be in the platforming ones. So you have to be very cautious whenever you fall and you end up dying and respawn, because you can lose a lot of time from it. And right here, gonna be meeting up with another generator. Gonna introduce it to some missiles. And I'm gonna be transported back to the previous section. So the out of bounds, as I mentioned, that actually skips that entire segment, and you can actually land on this part. But real quick, gonna see if I get RNG. Oh, sweet, I got the perfect RNG. So there's normally supposed to be 2 robots that spawn in here, but if you're lucky, you can get only 1 of them. But if you get the really good RNG, you can get none of them, which is actually very useful and very helpful. Saves time on movement as well. And then right here, to progress onwards, gonna be dealing with some more of these turrets. So I like to actually imagine that these blue things that the turrets and the enemies are shooting out are water balloons, and it's just like a little fun thing, but also because like water and electricity really do not work well, especially with mech suits. So really that's what I like to think of them as. I'm not really sure if they're supposed to be like blue goo, but I like to pretend that they're just water balloons. And because like the sound they make whenever they shoot them out, it sounds like water balloons. Alright, gonna progress onwards, and I'm gonna be very cautious right here to make sure I hit a specific trigger. Let's see if I do it. Nice, okay, I got it. So if you're not careful, you can actually end up not hitting a trigger, which causes this part of the level to not load in, and you have no choice but to fall off, losing almost at most 2 minutes. And I unfortunately I learned that the hard way with one of my runs, but it still made it up because it's a good thing that it was at least discovered, so that we know how to what to avoid for this level. Now, I mentioned earlier about the music in this game, and this is actually going to be a bit of a shocker. So if you've never really known much about this game or its music, it may sound really nice, but it's actually about the composer. So not only did he make the music for this game, he also helped out on making some music with some Rip and Tear, as well as some BFG Division. Got any clue who I'm probably referring to?
So there's a delay, so I'm like asking them something and they don't hear me yet. Chat, I'm from the future. You're welcome.
It's okay. In case nobody may know, I'll just go ahead and mention it right here, but the composer of this game is none other than Mick Gordon himself. So he first started off with making music from Nicktoons, eventually making it onwards to making the music for Doom Reboot and Doom Eternal. So the next time you ever give those tracks a listen, as well as the Wolfenstein music, this is a little reminder to know that he actually made music of a 2007 Nicktoons game with SpongeBob destroying a bunch of turrets inside of a mechanical robot suit. Here we go, gonna enter the final part. So this is actually where where the end of the level is, but I gotta be careful because this can actually lead up to a soft lock, and unfortunately earlier I encountered the soft lock 6 times in a row, or 5 times in a row, which is pretty sad. It loses a lot of time, but I'm gonna play it safe. Alright, so this is the final section. Gonna be very careful here. Let's hope I don't get the soft lock.
Fingers crossed.
Gosh darn it, I got it. No, okay, so the easiest way to tell, you see those, there's two barriers, and if you had, normally one of them is supposed to drop down after you destroy a generator, but sometimes they can actually pop back up, and we're still not sure why this happens. We may have found a way to fix it, but like still trying to follow it, it can just randomly occur. It's one of the biggest issues with this level is because it's at the end of the level, but it also loses almost 40 whole seconds. So it's kind of one of the reasons why the estimate is a bit higher up, is normally because sometimes the tricks really just do not want to work, or the level itself just don't want to work and just want to lose a lot of time. So let's try this again. Let's hope this time will be it. I'll play it a little bit more safe. Let's see if this can hope. All right, let's get ready. I'm gonna destroy the SpongeBob for safety. Please. Yes, there we go.
Yeah, well.
Woohoo! No more soft lock. Alrighty, we are seconds away from calling time. And time!
Yeah! GG!
That is time. Real quick, let's just listen to this cutscene.
We are seconds away from calling time. And time!
Hey, he stole that line from me. What the heck? How dare he?
I believe this.
Little fun fact about that, about the game show host's voice, it's actually Captain Quirk's voice actor. It's pretty cool. But real quick, just gonna want to show this because this is pretty much what happens when we stop Professor Calamitous.
The biggest genius.
Listen, shoulder pads, just get on with it and tell me I'm the winner.
Shout out to Tim Curry, by the way.
The winner of the
Also, we're gonna meet up with another character,
the Chadbot.
the Chadbot. Now, Chadbot is actually a character we meet at the end of Factory Zone 1, and he's basically the reason we're collecting the master models, because he wants to build up the action figure collection of the heroes that Professor Bad Mustache had borrowed. But yeah, he's basically Professor Calamitous' underappreciated help bot who hates his mustache.
You know, that's fair.
Yeah, it's fair. That's actually going to be some good things, because at the end of this cutscene, he gets to have some revenge. But real quick, he's being announced as the biggest genius, and being declared as having the greatest action figure in the entire universe.
Thank you.
But real quick,
But
is exactly what you got kicked.
Care to know what your prize is? Prize?
Not only do you get this fetching and fully synthetic, washable and drip dry glow-in-the-dark sash,
Fully synthetic, washable.
And combust near an open flame.
and combust near an open flame.
Oh, of course.
Professor Calamitous immobilization.
Oh, and Chad, here comes the greatest subtitle in all of gaming history.
not the mustache.
That is a bold claim, and I'm here for
It took
it.
me years to grow it.
Cry of dismay. Yeah.
They're just like
With an
me.
exclamation mark. Alrighty, but yes, that is the end of Nicktoons Attack of the Toybots any %, and right here the credits are rolling. Nichole, is it okay if I can be able to show off the little thing I mentioned?
Absolutely, yeah. But chat did have a question
you
for
very
you.
much.
Is there a favorite glitch that you have that isn't featured in this run, or are all the glitches in this run that you do?
Oh, there's actually one that I did like back then. It was pretty much another way of entering in the Jenny Master Model level, and that was by going out of bounds in another way. It's unfortunately slower, but it was found before the current method, but it's really nice. It was really cool because it required an out-of-bounds movement, and I really like the out-of-bounds movement in this game. That's actually found by the glitch hunter of the community, Schnurt. Shout out to Schnurt. He's helped find many of the glitches used in this run, such as roll canceling, the skip for Gers and Jennies, as well as being able to help contribute into the out-of-bounds. But real quick, we're going to be entering into SpongeBob's Master Model level because there's going to be a nice little cutscene that's going to play with it, and with some really funny dialogue. But real quick, going to just use his karate gloves. Here we go. So this one was actually one we skipped in any %, But real quick, here it comes. Now get ready to enjoy this great cutscene. And it's cut off.
Let's go.
Let's go. And then this is actually SpongeBob's master model level. It's heavily inspired off of the slang sections from Battle for Bikini Bottom and the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. So it's really nice. You go much faster, but here's a little gross thing about it. You're actually inside of the factory sewer pipes, and SpongeBob's just sliding with his tongue.
Oh no,
That's kinda
SpongeBob.
gross.
That's not a good idea.
I mean, he's also a sponge.
But you
so
know what?
then
That's
again-
fair. Sponges probably are pretty resistant to like bacteria, as their whole job is to touch it.
Correct. That's probably a great thing. Maybe that's why he's okay with it. But it's also nice because it has like killer guitar music in the background, which is really, really excellent. Now I'll go ahead and just play the credits again. Now I'm going to give some shout outs real quick. So first off, I want to give a huge shout out to the Nicktoons speedrunning community. We are not really much of an active community, but we still try our best to find many glitches for each of the games: Nicktoons Unite, Battle for Volcano Island, this game, Nicktoons Globs of Doom, but also some of the newer ones such as the Nickelodeon Kart Racer series. And so if you are interested in maybe trying out any of these games, you can feel free to join the Discord server that you can find on the speedrun.com website for the Nicktoons series. And if you are actually interested in trying out this game, we do have a any % tutorial, which has actually most of the tricks done in this run. The only exceptions, those being any character skip and the throw clip in Bikini Bottom. But you can still do many of the tricks, including the wrong warp, as well as roll cancels, and being able to just do some very funky movement, being able to just skip a lot, and just breaking the game much faster than it was intended. And under an hour as well, which was a big change because back then, sub-hour used to be really difficult to get in this game, but after the wrong warp, it's changed a lot. And it couldn't be helpful without any, it couldn't be things without any of the glitches that we've discovered in the past couple years of speedrunning. Now, I also want to give a shout out to some runners. So first off, I want to give a huge thank you to Schnurt, the glitch hunter and speedrunner and glitch hunter of this game, for finding many of the tricks and other obscure ones. Big shoutouts to Broran, the current world record holder for the any % category. And a huge thank you to Storage and the Only Stick Boy. They are actually the main inspirations for why I started running this game in the first place. And if it wasn't for me watching both of their any % runs, I would have not started running it. And I just also want to give a huge thank you to Nichole and the GDQ Hotfix staff for letting me be able to run this game here at As Seen on TV, for all you amazing people watching.
Of course, I'm so glad to have you. Thank you so much for submitting, and I'm glad we could feature you on here. This is a really fun game to watch, and it's really cool to see all the little different references that they had, so thank you so much.
And yeah, I can't really just so happy I got to do this, because I never really expected myself to actually be on a hotfix like for quite some time. But here I am, and I just still trying to wrap my head around it still, but
here you are.
At least I'm just really excited.
It was a really good run too, so I really thank you so much. That was a lot of fun to watch. Like, it's one of those games where I'm watching it happen and it doesn't feel like it went more than 30 minutes. Like, it just felt like it went by so fast because it was just very captivating. So thank you again. I really appreciate you joining on. Did you have anything else you wanted to shout out? I know you already did yours, but I just want to make sure.
Well, I'll probably say I want to give a huge thank you to everybody watching and being able to just stick around and watching all of As Seen on TV, because I was watching some of these ones before like the run, and I was really enjoying it, being able to see all of these cartoons and everything that was shown on TV being able to be showcased with their games, and it's just really great. So I just want to say, like, you definitely check out more of As Seen on TV.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, thank you, chat, for hanging around. It's always a really fun time here on As Seen on TV. Tune in tomorrow for Going Places, Grudge Match, and Parallel Universe, all starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. You might hear someone familiar on Grudge Match. It's really hard to say. It might be me and Bath and Jan. Who knows? But I will see you tomorrow, hopefully, in chat. Say hello. Definitely stop by for those runs tomorrow. It's going to be a really fun day on the Games Done Quick channel. See you soon, chat. Have a good night. Goodbye.